Lyra Ramblefoot Onyx Stone out of the pudding court and have given her enough hit points for her to be conscious again.
Are we like back? So where are we now? Where are we standing right this second?
You have exited the pudding court itself, but have not returned to Blingden Stone proper.
So we're still in like the sanctioned off section.
Yes.
Of the puddings.
You're just back outside of the giant ooze ball.
Cool.
Let's try to find, I think, a nook that's a little bit further away from the ooze ball. I can see, I think on this map there's some sections that don't have giant ooze there.
You could also
why don't we just go out of this section completely to away from ooze land?
I concur. Is there a reason we need to be in here?
Yeah, we don't need to hide here. Let's hide there.
Well, I was thinking before we go, in case we have to come back, the next time if we come back, the guy's going to be like, "Oh, you're back. What are the terms?" This may be our only chance to take a quick look around and see what the infrastructure of this place looks like before we go.
I'm just kidding.
I'm more than happy not to come back.
No, I agree. We might need We may need to do a little
I thought the only reason that we didn't want to do Operation Bomb the fuck out of this place was because of Kipo's sister. And now we have Kipo's sister, so why don't we just enact Operation Bomb the fuck out of this place?
Because some of the party members care about the other citizens.
She says from the ground, Kipo, who are all these people? What are you doing here?
Well, the real question is, what are you doing here?
She says, I don't know how I got here.
Yes.
I'm talking about the consorting with cults and getting abducted by oozes part.
Hey,
not necessarily the exact location we're standing.
I didn't know it was a cult. Mom asked me to come see a merchant with her.
Real quick.
What? Wait, I don't Mom know. Asked you to come in here?
Yeah.
Ears. Can we? I think we should go where we can't be heard about calling this place a cult and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Kipo, who are these people?
These are my prison break buddies.
You're in prison?
What? Can we talk
we're
about
in prison?
More? Can we please talk about elsewhere? Let's go.
We were very shortly imprisoned by a bunch of drow, but we escaped.
Oh my gosh, Kipo, you gotta stop falling for her tricks. Just stop answering the questions and let's go.
We just start grabbing Kipo and his sister and just moving further along.
Yeah. I'm staying at the back, so if anything is coming from the ooze, I'm keeping an eye on it as we're walking towards the exit.
No, it seems pretty content to just stay a giant sphere of ooze.
Okay, no weird half-formed bodies peeking out at us or anything?
Nope.
We haven't seen anything in this corridor that relates to ooze besides the big ooze.
No, and matter of fact, the corridor seems impeccably clean.
Probably because the oozes walk around cleaning it up with their oozy
slime.
Yeah. But yeah, we're walking, right? We're walking towards the exit.
Sure, walking and talking.
Little Zoltan is raging out and holding them both up. They're listening to us. I feel like they're probably hearing everything we're saying.
Yeah, let's get to sniff our sniffers, our were-rat friends.
Yeah, you can arrive back at the gate and get sniffed through.
Everybody passes, including Kipo's sister?
They do pause for a while on Lyra, because she does smell a lot like ooze. But she also smells like the piece of clothing that you had retrieved for her. So they're willing to liken that to her having been stuck in ooze for the past however long.
Now we find a little corner or a place to sit or something, just to dupe on a step if we can. But I don't want to drag this all over town.
I can sit a little easier now.
Sorry.
I'll let these little terrors in right now. Just a moment.
Was the sister speaking common that we could all understand, or was she?
She was speaking Gnomish because she was speaking to Kipo.
Okay, I'll sort of look at her and be like.
However, you do know that she also travels on the surface a lot, so she probably does understand Common, even if it's not her native language.
You speaking English?
I'll just in Common because that's my best bet. I'll just be like, sorry, we didn't want. I'm sure you're very confused.
Yeah.
We're friends of Kipo's.
From prison.
Well, I mean, we did technically all meet in prison, but we all we were prisoners. We were in prison.
We weren't in prison.
We were not committing crimes and then put on trial and put in prison.
We were captured by people who take prisoners and turn them to slaves. We were more like imprisoned as slaves to drow slavers.
And now you're here in Blingdenstone.
Right, because Kipo lives here.
It's taken us a while to get here.
Where's Mom?
She's in the barracks.
She's at the barracks.
How'd she get... She was with me.
Wait.
Oh, Mom's a fucking slime. Your mom's a slime. We gotta take a were-rat to the barracks.
Time to kill Kipo's mom, dude.
You can't sing that song. Have a heart.
If there have been slimes loose in the city, I think it might be a bigger problem than just Mom.
Right, but I feel like maybe we start with the one that we suspect, and then we maybe get the mayor to come up with like a search team. You know?
When were you separated from your mom?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Which part?
What do you suspect Mom of?
Well, if Mom was with you in the corridor, but I've been seeing Mom outside for the past few days, that means that a slime likely assumed her form.
So where is she now?
I don't know.
I think she would likely be one of the ones that is no longer. Possibly. But maybe not.
Let's not assume that yet. There are still plenty of people left in the slime quarter.
Right. Oh, and there were people we didn't see that were still alive, right?
There were a lot of people that were still there, that were still people and not slimes.
Right.
Lyra, was she being held like you as a deserter?
No, she just told me to go visit with her. This was like weeks ago.
I mean,
what happened after? What do you remember up till now?
Well, when I found out it was a bunch of slimes that worship Joyblex, I tried to leave.
Where was your mom?
I don't know. I was looking for her, but I hadn't found her when they caught me.
I think step one is gonna be were-rat sniff. You know, we're never gonna know until we know. And the only way we know is with the were-rat.
Yeah, let's get a Topsy or Turvy to come with us.
Yeah. Do you need food, water, or are you able to walk? I know you were pretty banged up in there.
I can walk, but I'm really confused.
Well, we are too, but I think the first thing that we need to do is make sure that Dad is not walking around with a slime wife.
Unless, never mind.
Slime wife.
Keep it in, Clinton.
I don't stop myself very often.
All right, yeah, you can grab Topsy and head back to the barracks.
What are you gonna do with your mom if she is a slime?
Well, it's not his mom if she's a slime.
I know.
So if the slime,
But the slime is connect. Are they all connected?
If the slime
Topsy
formerly known
says,
as Kipo's mother.
So there's a problem with this plan.
Yeah.
If she's been a slime for the last couple weeks and has been touching all her clothes as a slime, I can't tell the difference.
Do you have an heirloom or something, Kipo?
No, I don't really carry many sentimental things around, other than what probably was stolen by the drow when we were captured.
Even if there was an heirloom, it would smell like Kipo.
Okay.
Do we know if the slimes have been able to retain like the memories of the people they assume?
Wasn't
right?
there another method? There was another method that involved magic. But we didn't verify that would work.
You would recall that the slimes do not get any of the memories of the people that they assume for the most part. They just read the thoughts of the people around them to fill in whatever they need.
Got you. So ask your mom some dirty hood
but
trauma.
Kipo would have to think about what the answer would be, and thus the slime would know what the answer would be.
Wait, what if we did like
What if we put them in separate rooms? And we get one answer from his mom and one answer from him, and they're not together.
What if Kipo tells us the question but doesn't tell us the answer? Okay, Kipo then gets far away. Then we ask Kipo's mother the question. She gives us an answer. We then have to go to Kipo and say, Kipo, this is what your mother said. Is it right or wrong? And Kipo then says, no, that's fucking wrong. Kill her. Or, oh yeah, that's my mama.
Yeah, but we don't, how far away do we know, this whole...
Well...
You don't.
We don't know. We don't know that. But we can say, okay, Kipo, now just think about tuna. Just sing the tuna fish song over and over again in your head until we get back. And then he can't think about anything else except the tuna fish song.
We implant wrong answer.
Oh, I like it.
We have a question, be like, what was my favorite? I don't know. But Kipo would still be thinking
But
Kipo What if we don't tell him the question first? We ask his mom the question, and she will answer it. Then we ask Kipo the question, and if it doesn't match, most likely it's the wrong person, right? So it doesn't matter how far the distance is between.
Well, it would have to be something that both of us would know about, and also if my dad knows it, then you can't ask when he's in the area, or else they'd be able to read his thoughts.
Earmuffs. I still think that the
we don't know the area thing, so it would have to be something your mom knows that your dad doesn't.
Also, how much has your dad been thinking about your childhood in the past few days that it would be something that would come up? I mean, we could just leave you and your sister here, say you're busy finishing cleaning her up, and be like, find a way to drop it into conversation to ask, and then we'll come back and tell you. We're all out of the way that way. She has a reason to not suspect anything, and we can come back and ask you the answer and formulate a plan far away from her in that point.
Okay.
Or no, it won't work.
I mean, we do have to make sure that she's isolated from the rest of your family. That's kind of a hiccup we can't really avoid at this point. If it happens, I mean, we could ask your brother to take your dad away, but also who's to say, maybe that'll work if we isolate those two. We can cut down on the variables.
Yeah.
It
if your
sounds like
dad
a
would know
plan.
the answer, I feel like I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty forward with most things around them, but they kind of caught me off guard coming here. 'Cause I didn't really want to worry them more that I wasn't doing what they thought I was doing, especially with Lyra in the way. But yeah, you're probably going to need to separate them because they likely know most of the same things.
Yeah, but we don't know the area of effect of the whole
the other option
reading.
The other option is the identified thing. We don't know that it'll work, but we don't know that it won't work either.
Trying to identify his mom?
I can cast identify on his mom.
If does a slime in general come up as anything?
We don't.
If it is an effect that is altering, a magical effect that is altering them, then yes. But if it's like a natural effect, it may not show up at all.
So it could just say, this is normal, whether it's a person or a slime.
So it could give you a false negative, not a false positive.
Yeah. So I mean, it's worth a shot that it's positive. It's positive.
Right.
But if it's negative,
we can't exactly.
Most likely it will be.
If it tells us that it is, then we know it is. But if it tells us that it's not, we're not certain. We can't be certain, kind of a thing.
I mean, it doesn't hurt us to try.
It's right. Yeah. And I mean, and then there's always the. I mean, if she gets all freaked out by it, then.
Is there anything that we know like that slimes would be weak to versus a person? Like, can I throw some salt on it, like a slug or some shit?
I like.
Too bad you can't just ask Blobby and see. Ask Blobby, what's your biggest weakness?
We could ask him though. We have a sending stone.
It doesn't work to Blobby.
The sending stone only goes to Dorlamar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never met Blobby.
Okay, I'm not really that good at nature, but
you can still try. You don't know of any specific weaknesses that slimes have.
Although I think salt's a good I mean, it's worth a shot,
I mean, if we could figure out, like, if they have a certain weakness that, the average humanoid doesn't.
Was that water down to the cave where Blobby was salt water?
No.
No.
Okay.
I was just throwing salt out there as, like, an example.
I like the idea. And I think that we should get a fuck ton of salt and try it.
I think...
For science.
You guys have a library or something in this town that we could find?
We'll
read about this answer, or somebody else that would maybe have better expertise?
Do you not speaking that I'm talking to you, Topsy / Turvy / whichever's here. Don't you like? They don't smell like weird or anything like.
No, they
just don't smell like
there's not a specific slime smell. It's just they don't smell the same as the person. So we can really only tell by comparison to something that smells like the person. But if the slime's been around all the person's stuff for weeks, it's all going to smell the same.
Sure.
That doesn't help us for any of the slimes that are in the city then.
No, that's why we only said we could tell the ones that were trying to come back in.
He did.
I don't think I registered that.
I don't think any of us realized the sort of extent of like where that hard line is.
I don't really think the ones that were walking about the town were really on our minds.
But okay, we just have to make the best of what we got, because I mean, she either is or she isn't, and we'll find it out at some point. Because there's some other reason why, if she isn't your mother, why a slime is trying to infiltrate in the barracks. That will make itself clear. Right?
You can ask your dad if she's been weird lately, around the time that Lyra disappeared.
I mean, it's possible she was just cut off from the quarter when they started guarding the wall, but I mean, if this has some sort of ulterior mission over here, then we should probably find out.
Right.
I've got a question in mind to ask her. We'll see if she can answer it if we can get her isolated.
But you'll know
I don't
want to
tell you because I don't want to plant anything in our minds.
But it'll be in your mind.
The question's in my
Baru
mind.
doesn't know the answer necessarily if she hasn't asked me
yet.
I say let's go down to the barracks and see what things look like there.
So does that mean that he doesn't come? Kipo doesn't come with us then, right?
No.
I think if you and Lyra can stay out, or Lyra, sorry, can stay out for another like half hour or so. Hopefully we can, jog down there, have a quick conversation, and come back.
Sure.
Okay, so everyone but Kipo and Lyra is going into the barracks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you all enter into the barracks. You can see that the family's all in there right now, it being pretty late at night at this point.
Okay, they're all in there together.
Yeah. With, of course, the exception of Kipo and Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just realizing you don't know what my parents' names are?
No, well, yes, but also I was trying to remember if they were speaking common to us or not, because
they did speak common.
They did speak common.
They chose not to speak common to you most of the time, but they do speak common.
I feel like we wrote their names down somewhere.
I feel like
probably.
I feel like if you want me to start the conversation, I'll just call him Kipo's mom and dad.
I was gonna say Mr. and Mrs. Amanita. Like, we got the last name, right? Is that not your last name?
I have told you that my last name is not the same as my family's.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
You are such a liar dog.
Yeah,
it's not a lie. Kipo chose their own name.
Please go address them as Mr. and Mrs. Amanita.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. We don't have their names written. I can't believe we don't have their names written down. How do we have everyone's names written down and not theirs?
We can just call them Kipo's mom and dad.
I just put them in chat.
Did they actually tell us their names?
Probably not.
I feel like I'm pretty good with writing names down if I hear it most of the time.
I definitely told you their names.
Well, then I guess...
Yeah, they would have formally introduced themselves.
I definitely told you their names.
They were speaking Gnomish, to be fair, and so were you. So, I might have been like, fuck these guys. Who knows?
Well, that would be your choice now, wouldn't it?
I guess I could have just gotten your Kipo's parents, right? And waited for them.
I do not remember those names.
Yeah, me neither. Make blank slate in my head.
Swoosh.
Yep. I can't get them all. What can I say?
I think it goes unsaid that I don't remember their names.
Yeah, I'll sort of be like, Alabaster, Virginia, and the brother's name, whatever the brother's name is.
That I'm pretty sure I wrote down somewhere.
Firecrotch.
That is definitely not his name.
He told us the carpet master drapes.
Gazul. Got it. we have some good news.
Where's Kipo? This is Alabaster.
He's with Lyra at the moment. They're sort of resting up and things like that, and helping.
Where are they? We should go see her. It's Virginia.
We can bring them down here to the barracks with you. We just came ahead. She's moving a little slowly. She was a little bit injured. Obviously, getting her
go on.
there.
Take us to them. We can see her back.
No, it's fine. But actually,
what do you mean it's fine? Our daughter is back from being trapped with oozes. Where are they?
They're on their way here. I believe they're finishing making sure that she's allowed out of the corridor.
Well, then they're at the gate. Let's go. They start grabbing like their packs.
Why don't, just in case we get our wires crossed walking here, we didn't tell Kiba the exact path. Virginia, you come with us. Alabaster Gazul will stay here in case we miss you on the way there. And then at least if they get back before we get back, she's got family and a safe place to come back to.
Okay, Baru, try making a deception check, please.
You got this.
Oh no! I'll use the reroll. I'll use the reroll.
Got this.
Ooh, that was bad. Wow, good start, guys.
Don't worry, you got it out of the way.
Yeah. That's not much better, but
it's better than that.
Better than the one.
What's...
Here, we'll split up then, and you know.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. She's fine. Let's go.
Can I'll stay with Alabaster. Is that what we're doing?
She says, "Whatever. Let's go."
Yeah. Okay. We'll start walking. I'll kind of try to like circumvent a little bit, so I try to like find like a halfway spot from where we left Kipo and like a halfway spot from the barracks, and hope we're like kind of in the middle.
Yeah. So you're gonna try and stop the barracks being over here. You're gonna try and stop like here or something.
Can I like split from the party and like sneakily run away to where Kipo is?
Yeah, sure.
Like around the back and be like, "Yo, your mom's coming."
Yeah, sure you can. Okay.
Wait, so now
she's walking with you, Baru.
Walk slow.
Are you trying to talk to her or anything, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to like make conversation. I'm like, oh, I get that you're really frantic, you know, but I'm sure she's in good hands with Kipo. You know, it seems like he's really got you know, a head for things, and you know,
he's plenty smart. That doesn't mean I don't want to see my daughter.
Of course.
Shut the fuck up.
But like, this is so stupid. I don't care. So it would be like he was pulling out some mushrooms.
Running as fast as I can to keep out.
Yeah.
He had
ignoring.
Yeah, pulled out some mushrooms that he had and was going to give them to her. He said one was his favorite, but I don't remember the name. Do you?
What? No.
You don't? I mean, it's he talked about it an awful lot.
He loves all mushrooms, and he talks about them constantly. And is this really relevant right now?
I mean, your daughter is fine. We're just, you know, taking the time to get there. I assumed it would have calmed you down hearing that, you know, your daughter is safe and with your son. You know, did they have a good relationship? I assume they were close.
Yes, they're very close. Look, this is not the time.
I feel like If this is not a slime lady, she's gonna fucking hate us.
She can hate me. That's fine.
She's gonna be like, Kipo picks the dumbest friends ever.
Be like, Kipo, all of your friends are welcome back except for that one. She's a bitch. I'm mad that she won't give me like a specific. I'm trying to think of what else I could ask that would be a good specific question.
Just start asking about their childhood.
Yeah, nope. I'm gonna keep going on my thing as we're going to be like, I'm gonna be like, when did he leave? Like,
what's his birthday?
When? Yeah, like when did he leave? When did he split off from you guys? Almost like in like a pained obliviousness of just like chittering away, asking questions, waiting for like something to stick. So I have
one of those people that you hope to shut up and be like, "Come on, go away."
If she's actually a slime, then she knows what you're doing, right? Because she can read your thoughts.
Does she?
I wouldn't think so. I think she just hears me trying to ask questions. I don't know how pervasive the slime mind reading is.
I'm gonna have you try another deception check because you're being like painfully oblivious.
As fuck.
Oh.
In the meantime, Thea, you have arrived back at Kipo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I tell Kipo his mom's coming and we're fucked.
You have lucky feet?
Doesn't matter.
No,
you can make someone reroll with a lucky, can't you?
Only if they're targeting with an attack.
Oh.
That's fine. I've got one last card up my sleeve I'll try to play, so we'll see.
I tell Kipo his mom is running to try to see your sister, and we don't know how to tell if she's not a slime.
Kipo, any response to that?
I don't know what to do with that information. I thought you were going to interrogate her.
Listen, she was like, "Fuck all y'all, I'm coming to see my daughter." So we told her to sit down.
If you told her that we were here, but we aren't here when she arrives, she's going to be even more freaked out. So I think we should just stay put.
What if I stay put with your sister and you run away?
Why?
So she can't read your mind. I don't know. I feel like there has to be a better way than this.
What if we make y'all disappear and say the Pudding King got you, and see if there's a sigh of relief whenever she sees that the Pudding King got you?
This is getting very complicated.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, back to Baru. She says, about 90 years ago the first time? And what is this about?
I'll sort of like come to a stop and sort of turn around and like stare her down a little bit and be like,
she does not stop.
Damn it, okay, that doesn't work. I was gonna try to like block her path a little bit, but she doesn't stop.
She does not stop.
Alright. I'm gonna keep pace
next. She's a mama bear.
You do hear her mutter something in Gnomish. It doesn't sound complimentary.
That's fine. That's when I learned that language in 2.5 years, I'll think back to what she said and realize what it was. Your daughter is scared of you right now and is afraid because all she remembers is that she went in there with you and left without you. And I'm doing everything I can to ensure that another child is not afraid of a parent. We are trying to keep her safe from every danger.
Okay, you can try a charisma-based skill of your choice on that one.
That was a pretty good.
Because I could see it fitting into a few different ones.
I was trying to kind of like be a little bit like more forceful than
stern.
Like,
yeah, that's why I was saying you could kind of pick whatever on that one.
Yeah.
You rolled the same thing.
She does stop at that point and says, She remembers going in there with me? How?
I don't know the whole story. She was talking in Gnomish half the time, which I unfortunately don't understand, but from what I gleaned, she said that you took her in to go talk to some merchant, and then when she turned around, she was on her own, and you were nowhere to be seen.
But we didn't even know she was in there for so long. How?
Because you're a fucking slime, and no one's been around that knew that story to tell you that story. Do the slimes not know they're slimes? That would be a freaking weird twist.
Can you don't know what happened?
It's like Battlestar Galactica.
Why didn't you say something?
Say what? We just found it out. We were trying to...
I wouldn't have rushed over here if I knew she was scared. I could have sent Gezel. I should go send Gezel. She turns around and starts heading back to the barracks.
I'll put a hand out to try to stop her.
What now? Is she scared of him too?
I think she's afraid of everything. She has no idea what's going on. I don't even think she knows what day it is.
Well, what are you doing with her then? She's got to go somewhere.
We want her to get home. The
barracks is home. So are you taking her to the barracks or not?
Yes, because we also don't have anywhere else to go, so we've taken her to the barracks. We wanted to give a minute to check and see what was happening and if we could find out anything, so she wouldn't have to ask any questions that would make her uncomfortable.
Is that why you're asking me weird questions about Kipo?
Well, that and partially just out of curiosity. He kind of keeps to himself a little bit, so I thought it would be helpful. But
all right, so you're taking her to the barracks, but Gezel and Alabaster don't know that she's scared of them.
Come with me. We'll explain it to her, and you can tell her she doesn't have anything to worry about. And we can all go back together. We're just around the corner.
Wait, so... Alright, so now you're taking me to her.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. It's either take her to her now or send her back to the barracks, guys, and then she's gonna meet her there.
Mutters,
it's whatever.
Mutters in Gnomish some more as she continues to head towards the gate.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fine. I mean, we did get one specific answer, so I do have something to ask Kipo.
I think. Well, okay. Never mind. I'm not there.
Yep, you are at the barracks.
We're party split right now.
You are very split. You're actually very fortunate that she didn't turn into a slime and attack Baru while Baru was alone with her or something.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
I believe in Baru. Look at Baru's muscles.
Like, we just left Baru alone with the slime.
She is slime royalty.
Imagine if I didn't tell you guys that I was just going to attack her on sight and see if she turned into a slime. What that would have done. I was like, yeah, I'll get her alone and talk to her. And then I was like, and I rolled to attack.
And I just like ran away, letting you do it.
All right, you finally round the corner, coming across Kipo, Thea, and Lyra.
Your mom wanted to come from the barracks to help escort you home, Lyra and Kipo. She's glad you guys are safe.
Lyra says, "Did you figure out what was going on?"
I think so.
Well,
I think
so. So this is Mom.
Thea goes, "Yes." It's too complicated to say it's not.
Because honestly, we've just opened more doors to
exactly. That's why Thea's like, yes.
Yep. This is Mom. It's Mom.
So
Mom.
So who did I follow?
Well, if you weren't following Mom, that means you were following a slime disguised as Mom.
So how can you be sure this is Mom and not a slime? No offense, Mom.
Mom, are you a slime? You have to tell me if you're a slime.
Otherwise, it's entrapment.
She says in Gnomish, Kipo, I would expect this kind of thing coming from her. I wouldn't expect it coming from you. And at her, she nodded her head towards Baru.
Oh, I felt that. Even with the language barrier, I understand exactly what that sentence was.
You don't have, she asked Kipo, you don't have some sort of, I don't know, something you can do? They let you back out? Presumably they have a way of knowing you're not slimes? They can't test me?
Well, the problem is they can only test for differences between what person normally smells like and what slime smells like. So in the rare case that you were a slime and had been living with all of Mom's items, then they would smell like you anyway, so they couldn't tell a difference.
In the event that she is a slime, we're giving the slime all of our secrets.
She says, so...
Yep.
If you don't have a way of telling, why was your friend asking me a bunch of questions?
She was trying to discern something that only Mom would truly know.
She looks back to Baru. Well, did it work? Did you get what you needed from your questions, or do you need to ask more? I want you to be able to put Lyra's mind at ease.
But I can't do it now because she's real close to Kipo. So if I ask, she can read his mind.
So...
I also don't... I mean, unless I bend down and whisper in her ear.
Whisper in her...
If Kipo doesn't hear the question, he might not have it. I don't know.
You didn't already ask her a question?
I asked her a lot of questions, and all she gave me were vague things. The only one I know is, when did you first leave home, Kipo?
It's been quite a while. I don't know. Around a century, maybe?
I think she had said, what, like 90 years?
She said 90.
She said about 90 years.
Yeah. That is either an extremely good guess or very close.
I don't know if that's a super hard question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I've been exclusively away from home the entire time, but I went to study and I hung around with some traveling adventurers for a while, and came back, check on the family, help with the business.
I'll sort of look back over at her, Mom, and be like, very quietly under my breath, be like, favorite mushroom?
She says, I told you, Kipo likes all sorts of mushrooms. I don't know which one is their favorite.
Kipo, you must have a favorite mushroom. There was no way that a man who is into as many mushrooms...
I'm not saying he doesn't have a favorite. I'm saying I don't know what it is.
Ask Kipo if his mom would know what it is.
Yeah. I'd sort of, look over at Kipo and be like, I asked if you had a favorite mushroom. She said, There was no way of knowing which one was your favorite.
Does Kipo even know his favorite mushroom?
I mean, that does sound right. There's abundance of varieties, and they've all got their own unique traits. And I mean, it's hard to choose just one. They're all great in their own.
Yep, good, great. I can't believe I felt like it's such a niche thing that you'd be like, oh yeah, I talked about like the cloud cap all the time. It was my favorite mushroom as a kid. And I collected
Jesus, I'm telling you, he talked about every mushroom like that.
Kipo's thing is specifically cataloging every mushroom.
His mom probably got tired of listening to his shit.
Yeah, probably started tuning him out and was like, yeah, whatever, nice mushroom.
Yeah, like what every parent does.
That's a very nice mushroom, honey. We'll put it up on the fridge.
Yup.
Birthday.
Yeah, when is Kipo's birthday? I don't know his birthday.
Chris hasn't looked at a Faerun calendar.
Yeah.
Sorry, now this is just getting difficult.
So that's a question you can't really ask me. Actually, you can. She will be able to tell you. You know, Kipo's adopted, right?
Shit. When did you adopt him?
Jesus, we don't know what his actual birth date is.
What's his adoption date?
This is like the worst good cop, bad cop routine that's ever been done.
I say we royally screw this up.
Yeah, he was about 12, we think.
What is it? Just you picked up a stray off the street?
Yeah, that's literally all of our children are adopted. That's kind of our.
That's
our whole family.
Right, but there's the adoption and finding a stray on the street are two different things.
You didn't think it was odd that we had a fire genasi for a son?
I thought that they were blood.
I kicked him.
So stupid.
I mean, it's not like there was an extremely formal
uncanny
interview process and acceptance. We were
and
kind of all running for our lives.
Yeah, and we were running through the Underdark, so, you know, dates get a little fuzzy.
Okay, she sounds like she might be, know what she's talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty convinced.
I mean, to be fair, Kipo's right here, so whatever is in his mind.
At this point, this slime is mom now, you know?
But she was giving up stuff.
I mean, who's to say she hasn't always just been a slime, you know?
She's like volunteering information. I don't think Kipo was like actively thinking
when you have a gnome and a slime, you get fire genasi. That's what they yield.
The world's most strange Punnett square ever.
You roll the dice and something comes out.
Those are two recessive genes for sure.
Yep.
That's a lowercase p, 100%.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, Kipo. I'm sorry. I thought.
Well, I think we can go home.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate that you didn't know more about Kipo to begin with, because a lot of the questions don't make sense with Kipo.
Yep.
What's their birthday? We don't know.
For some reason, I
have asked Kipo beforehand.
Well, like Kipo, you had said that your sister was your birth sister, right? Like, or you guys are related by blood.
Well, they are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, so those are their parents, and then they adopted a fire genasi. Like that was what I was thinking in my head.
I was on that same wavelength as only the genasi was adopted.
That's why I was thinking like, oh, they would have known like stuff about childbirth, would have known about like them as kids.
I've also adopted a dog, and I know the dog's birthday.
But also,
Kipo's reticence has been your downfall.
But also,
I feel like
if
I mentioned briefly that I was adopted, but I don't specifically recall the instance.
I feel like when you were explaining about your brother, but
or when I was giving my family name in the gate.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I also think too, like looking back now, if I knew all these things and then asked her the question, she could have read my mind for the answer. True. So
yeah.
We do not know. Maybe we can get a sneaky identify off in the barracks later.
Why does it have to be sneaky? Yeah, snap it out now.
She says, you can use identify on me now if you think that'll help.
Or if we're back at the barracks, I'll like look over at Zoltan.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah. So this is. We're gonna have to hold hands, for 1 minute and stare at each other's eyes.
She says, or you can just put your hand on my shoulder and not stare in my eyes.
I've already pissed this woman off enough.
I feel like standing next.
I'm a merchant. Do you know how many adventurers have felt the need to identify my goods because they can't take me at my word? Yes, I know how this spell works. And no, you're not inspiring confidence.
What was the favorite type of item
do you actually know magic?
Sold in the caravan?
Do I know magic?
Yeah. Do you actually know magic, or do you just, I don't know, have some weird thing for holding hands and staring into the eyes of married women?
Keep your mom hates us.
Yes, and yes.
We're gonna have to go sleep somewhere else tonight. It's not safe for us in the barracks.
You haven't given her much of a reason to not be suspicious.
No, I don't have a weird thing.
Alright, you know what? If we need to identify, we can go get one of the guards to do it. I don't trust him.
What do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't know, because my brain clearly doesn't work the same way yours does.
I don't think anyone's does, to be fair.
I feel like it's more personable to rather than like just standing weird next to you and touching you to, hold your hand. It just seems
and stare deeply into my eyes. Yes, I heard you.
I didn't say stare deeply. I just said look at each other, like stare at each other's eyes. I wasn't saying like longingly and like we were gonna make out after thing. I'm not into you.
You're just saying it without saying deeply. You're like, yeah, I didn't say stare deeply into each other's eyes. I just said stare into each other's eyes.
Right. I don't even think I said stare. I said look. I said look into each other's eyes.
You said stare.
I don't think I did.
You did.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Zoltan, you're not making your case any better.
He will say no, he definitely didn't.
Look, if you want to go get the god, you can go get the god. It's like, whatever. I'm not trying to come on.
I'm fine with an identify spell. I'm not so fine with it coming from this one.
Nice, thanks, Sultan.
I mean, do you want me to just touch your shoulder and look away from you or something? We gotta cast a spell your way.
She gives Zoltan sort of a gimlet eye and then says, "That would be fine."
I mean, who's the wizard here? Who fucking, I'm just a fucking dirty ass goblin here. Let me just better set my hand on her shoulder and I mumble and grumble about it.
She squints. You think this is a race thing? You're creepy.
What? Oh, because I'm green.
I feel like Faru and Thea in the corner are dying at this point.
I've been dying this whole time.
Whatever.
Like bowled over half.
I start to cast identify.
Yeah, and, you can successfully cast identify on her. She does not have any spells affecting her other than identify.
Yep, she's a slime. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like we probably should have the guard do that anyway. Zoltan is not prone to truth telling.
Yeah.
Kipo, I think it would be best if you kept your friends away from our family.
Thea's like, what did I do?
That's guilty by association.
2 out of 3 is pretty bad.
No, there's nothing magical on her.
Thea's like, look here, I'm the one that convinced your daughter to be out of that place.
Yeah, Kipo, I think it's best if you kept your friends somewhere else.
Yeah, you're probably right. So, with that out of the way, should probably look after Lyra. And we have some information that we need to bring to the governors.
We'll take care of Lyra, and you can come visit her.
Yeah, Kipo, if you want to talk, we'll go. I'll go. Anybody, guys, the tavern. We should probably go to the tavern. We'll wait for you there if you want to talk with your sister and your family a bit.
I feel like it's really important, and you don't necessarily have the ability to communicate with the governors.
Yeah, I figured we'd go to the governors, but I wanted to give you a minute with your family since we kind of
we're waiting. We're gonna wait for you to go talk to the governors.
Okay. Enjoy all the mushroom you can take.
We'll save our extras for you for sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't want Kipo to go by himself.
Kipo's just staying here by himself. You guys are waiting outside, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, let's
fine.
wait outside in case Kipo can divulge any more information without us exacerbating the situation.
Because Verdinia, at least, has had enough of the party's antics.
To be fair, the slime joke was very tasteless.
It was
in the barracks with
very
all
bad.
of those people there. That was pretty shitty, dude. I will say that in character as we are walking out.
To be fair, that was Clinton, and I wasn't doing that in character, but now I'm just taking it. Now I'll just accept it.
Yeah, with Kipo alone, she'll say, Kipo, you need to find better friends.
Well, they have their moments. Some of them are more useful than others, but I didn't have much choice. We were all kind of just escaping.
She nods and says, I understand. Just be careful. Take care of yourself. That elven girl seems nice enough.
Which one?
You.
So, Lyra, can you provide a bit more information about what happened? You were following somebody who looked like Mom, or Mom told you to meet there?
Well, no. I guess it was a slime, but it looked like Mom found me when I was out in the market and asked me to come with them to meet a potential buyer, and I followed them, and we ended up, well, over there, and by the time I tried to get out because I realized what was going on, it was too late.
And you never saw the thing that looked like Mom again?
No.
Were you doing anything particular when you were out in the market?
No, just shopping.
Well, the whole slime thing doesn't exactly look good. It seems like most of the people that have been taken over there have been consumed by slimes as traitors to the pudding court.
Yeah, the weird pudding king said I was a traitor before he stuck me in the seat there.
I feel like there's not much we can do aside from fighting them. They are just going to take over Blingdenstone if they have the opportunity.
Aren't there a lot of them?
Yeah.
How are we gonna do that?
I don't know. We need to talk with Senny and Dorbo and see what kind of resources the city has.
One second. She says, I remember hearing something about the Diggermatox when I was in there, but I wasn't really... I didn't think about it at the time, but I remember they were talking about something about them.
Well, there was a slime assassin who took out the previous Diggermatox.
That happened before I left.
Do you think that Senny or Dorbo could have been infiltrated by the slimes?
I don't know. I remember hearing something about Diggermatox. That the Pudding King was talking to those weird oozes that think they're people.
It's not really inspiring confidence when anybody that you talk to could be a slime attempting to overthrow the city and there's no way to tell who they are.
Yeah. Sorry, had to change my headset.
You don't think there's any way that Senny or Dorbo are working with the Pudding Court to overthrow Blingden Stone?
I don't know. You know we don't stay here long. I don't really know what's going on with the politics.
Yeah, I know. And it's actually probably best if you'll pack up the caravan sooner than later.
Yeah, I think we probably will. Virginia says, we definitely will. We'll probably stay the night so that Lyra can recover, but we'll probably be heading out first thing in the morning. You should think about getting to sleep too. It's late.
Yeah, I'll just check in with my friends and see if there's anything that we need to plan for tomorrow.
Well, if if you want to, you can travel with us. I mean, I know you don't really want to do the merchant thing, but you can still come with us.
I would like to, but I don't think it's safe for everybody involved just yet.
What do you mean?
Everyone who was in that prison cell with us ended up having very strange, repetitive dreams. And
you mean like the barracks last night?
Yeah, that's probably because of the party here.
So did we share the same dream as one of you?
Probably Zoltan or Thea, yes.
Oh.
Now she really is gonna hate us.
Why are you telling her all this stuff?
Don't put the nice
Come on,
elf under
people,
the bus.
learn about something good for once.
You should see someone about that.
Yeah, that's on our list of things to kind of figure out. Aside from the immediate threat of what's in the city, I think we've actually delivered everybody who was trying to find their home. So this is probably next on our list.
Well, that's... Huh. Alabaster says, there's a wizard on the surface, if you happen to be heading that way, that owes me a favor. He's a expert in divination. Dreams, if they're repetitive, could be some sort of divination or prophecy or something like that. Are you possibly headed up that way?
Just a moment, Eric.
Yeah, sure.
What was that?
What's the name? The name!
Okay. I was just going through the dog list of who's going out next. For those that don't know, my mom breeds Australian Shepherds.
Oh my
so
goodness.
there are a number of dogs.
So cute.
Yeah, that would be very helpful. Where are they on the surface?
They're in Neverwinter.
Okay. Yeah. That seems like a decent place to head to.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't really know if they'll be able to fix whatever's going on, but maybe they could at least point you in a better direction. I don't really know. Their name's Lindevosk.
Lindevosk.
Ilindevosk.
Ilindevosk.
Yes. They should remember me. So if you introduce yourself as my son, they should at least try to help you.
Where is this person located?
Neverwinter. Well, if we don't see you before you head out tomorrow morning, I guess we'll meet up sometime on the surface.
Yes, we'll be headed to Silvery Moon.
Got it. Have a good night, and Lyra, try not to turn into a slime or join more slime cults or, just not cults in general.
She says, yeah, try not to, have weird, evil, prophetic dreams, I guess. Stay safe, Kipo.
And I'll give them all a hug before heading out.
Yeah. Yeah, you can head out and join the party outside.
They're gonna be okay.
I think so. They're planning on heading back out of the city, back up to the surface tomorrow. So, out of the way for if any kerfuffle goes down. But Lyra mentioned that when she was in the pudding court, she heard mention of the Diggermatok's name when the Pudding King was speaking to the prince and princess, but she doesn't remember in what context.
So they could be talking about them as friends or as an enemy.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot to go on, but I feel like we don't really have ability to trust much of anyone in the city.
No, I think today's sort of, what just happened kind of proved that we don't really have the capacity to understand who is and isn't part of the bigger slime picture, for better or worse. So,
What if the Digamatox have been infiltrated by the slimes, and that maybe those other people that they are now getting on the ballot to vote also got infiltrated by slimes? So that's why they were so anxious to, let them on the ballot too, because now there were going to be even more slime people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had that thought as well.
So
but I mean, if they've all been out of the slime quarter for that long, then there's no way to discern who they are.
Yeah.
Except with the identify, which we still don't know if it will work 100%. And I don't know that they would let us do an identify on the Digamatox, that is. Although they might. They may be willing to, as like a verification, or maybe, I feel like maybe for the election it should possibly be a requirement,
Do you think a slime would be able to hold its transformation in an anti-magic zone?
I do not believe that they would be able to do that.
If an identify would detect a slime having been transformed, then they would not. If it would not, then they would. Because, the identify would.
Yeah, we don't really know what the identify.
So basically, that's the same problem as the identify, which is you don't know if that's a magical thing or just like a extraordinary ability from them reshaping their bodies because it's made of slime.
We'd need to find like a confirmed slime to cast identify on.
But changing colors and all that, there's got to be magic involved.
Cuttlefish do it without magic.
Who?
Cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
So does lizards.
Basically, anti-magic field has the same problem as identify, which is you don't know enough to know whether that's a magical or a biological process.
Yeah, so we would need to get a confirmed slime.
Yeah,
and cast identify on.
I can't even sense it with my divine sense because they're their own category as slimes. They don't fall under any of the ones that I can track. So it's my only thought about the Digamatox not being part of the slimes is that Jorbo seemed very gung-ho on the bomb.
True, and if he was a slime, I don't think
even if he was a slime, I feel like he might have still advocated for maybe more caution or a wait and see sort of affair. But I mean, we could also ask him what his plans are for the bomb scenario and see if it's something that seems feasible or doable, or if it's sort of like when push comes to shove, he doesn't have the wherewithal to follow through. But
we could also go back to the Pudding King and let them cast that spell on me.
That's a terrible idea. They're going to see into your mind all these dreams that you've been having that you have no clue what's going on.
Everyone sees the dream I have anyway.
Not the Pudding King in them so far.
How do you know?
It could expand there tonight.
Right. I mean, we're in the town. As far as we know, the entire town is having the same dream. What are they going to get from knowing my thoughts? Like, I don't think very much very often. They're not going to learn very much from me. I don't think.
But you know about us, and I don't think we particularly want to know.
To be fair, I've probably forgotten more about you than... I don't even know how to finish that thought. I don't know a lot.
Altan doesn't pay attention. He's too busy touching other people's fire hair.
I do. They will
in their eyes.
They will learn about. I didn't say it wasn't deeply. I wasn't trying to say deeply. Oh my gosh. They will learn that Kipo's brother carpet matches the drapes. That is
no need to go anywhere else before you take a rest because it's getting pretty late.
Yeah, but Thea's debating if she even wants to rest because her dreams are just gonna scatter to more people.
You can do a short rest instead of a long rest if you want. then you don't sleep.
Okay.
I'll take a long rest. Mainly because I don't want a short rest. I feel like we might as well wait. Like, do we have a plan of what we want to do tomorrow? I don't think the Diggerma talks are like if we need to go talk to government. Oh, right. Well, we know it's on a 24-hour like cycle, but I don't think the government right now is probably ready to discuss plans. So,
okay.
I mean, yeah, I think I'll take a long rest.
I also will take a long rest.
Okay.
Everyone's getting Zoltan special tonight then.
Yep, everyone's getting the Zoltan special.
It'd be interesting to find out, like, just as a market study, like, whose dreams reach more people, if the Yos or Zoltans. Like, is it split evenly if both of them rest? Does it one have more sway than the other?
Would be interesting to find out.
Yeah.
Tonight, I think Zoltan wins.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I really gotta stop talking in this voice when I'm not in character.
Yeah, the party can take a long rest without any incident.
Sleeping at like the very opposite corner of the barracks from like Kipo's family. I'm like Kipo going to make sure they're all asleep before we like go in and like steal a cot for the night.
There's plenty of rooms in the barracks.
I do feel guilty. I do feel upset that I made your mom upset. Kipo, it was a hard situation.
She called me creepy.
I have that in the notes.
I feel
it's not a race thing. You're creepy.
Right. I just like.
You know, you all didn't meet under the best of circumstances, so I'm sure tensions were high a bit all around.
Right. And I am green, which is kind of creepy, you know.
Thea goes, I'm green too. What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just.
You're maybe a little darker shade.
I was being sarcastic. I think. I don't know if that's the right word.
Oh my gosh, Ocean, stop!
Alright.
Upset pupper.
Waking up the next morning. What do you want to do?
Get the fuck out of Dodge. But I don't think that's an option.
I mean, on one hand, you say that, but like, once Kipo's family's out of town, Blingden Stone could fall to the Pudding King, and we could just let it happen. That would be
no. I mean, I don't.
Shitty
That sounds like a problem for a future us, then, though, too.
Right. I mean, it's just eventually we're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Do we want to
go
go
in the
talk
morning?
to
You can see your family is packing up the wagons to head out.
Do we want to go talk to the Diggermatox?
I feel like we should talk to the Diggermatox. I feel like we should attempt an identify on the Diggermatox.
Per Riza's request, can we contact Durlamar since it's a new day?
I thought we were crossing off the first thing on that list, which meant we weren't doing the second thing on the list.
I did, but she doesn't even know that till next time. The third one, that's too much of a.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Too much of a one.
Oh, by the way, we found the Mythalore!
We have no clue what it looks like, right?
It's a big rock. Purple.
Alright, so,
Is it?
who's contacting the wizard?
I believe you have the Sending Stone, correct?
I do.
I can do it if nobody wants to.
We're just trying to see if he knows a transmutation wizard who is willing to possibly fix a Mythalar.
You know, I gotta say, speaking as a wizard, all we would really need to know is if he... we know they have capability. If they've got the capability of fixing a Mythala, they're gonna want to fix a Mythala.
Yeah, but if he doesn't, would he want to try?
We don't... Oh,
you don't want a talented amateur who wants to take a stab at it.
We need to know if they have the capability of fixing a Mythala.
Contact him and be like, do you know a transmutation wizard capable of fixing a Mythalar?
There you go.
If not, do you know someone who can? Done.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking, do we have more pressing questions for him? Because we don't have a Mythalar.
Yes, find Blobby.
I mean, we could also ask him if he knows how to identify slimes masquerading as people.
Oh, yeah.
So just
that would be better.
25 words.
Minor suggestion. He has the sending spell. You could say something like, "We have a bunch of things we need to ask you. Can you sending us a few times?"
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. Phone a friend. Wheel of Fortune. I'd like to use my phone a friend.
5 times, please.
Yeah, for 5 words, 30 words on the clock. Thank you. Did you have anything important to do today? Because you're wasting all your spells on sending. Thank you.
I gotta believe that he's got,
at least 3 castings of it or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will probably try that then.
Okay.
Yeah, tell him we have a bunch of questions.
So, remembering that these are in 25-word segments, go ahead and type out what you want to send to him, and then tell me. Make sure it's 25 words.
Make sure to get in there. Please send us multiple times. More questions.
Contractions only count as 1.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna open up a document so I can see a word count as I'm typing.
We're gonna start creating contractions.
So Lamar, it's Ray's group.
You don't even need to say that. They know.
He automatically knows who is sending.
Don't need to say his
name.
Oh,
okay.
Don't need to say party. Just
perfect.
Spit out exactly what you want.
Blingden Stone. Several.
It's like writing the old-fashioned telegrams where you have to keep the word count low.
Several issues here. Will need several sendings.
And then just go ask one question that you can fit in there.
Yeah, as many. Need information about fixing Mythalar. Need information about...
Oh, I would just ask specific questions. Be like, can you fix Mythalar?
Need information about, he won't know what information to send you.
Okay.
Because he only can reply 25 words.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Can you fix a Mythalar?
If not,
who can?
Who can? How many words is that?
Right now we're at, hold on, let me see. Where's my word count?
We can ask questions on the responses to his future
we
sending.
can, but we might as well ask a question.
You want to squeeze as much in as possible, right?
Yeah.
You're at how many words?
19.
Okay. What's a slime's weakness?
What's a slime's weakness? That should put us at 23.
Send. Be like, thanks, babe.
What's
Demons
a slime's
there?
weakness?
Question mark?
I'm gonna say or immunity, so we know things that don't hurt them.
Okay, sure.
And immunity. That would make sense, right? What's their weakness and immunity?
Yeah.
Yeah. That gives us that's
you could put weakness and strengths.
Sure, yeah. What's a slime weakness and strength? Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's 25. I will.
See what he says.
I'll put it in.
Yeah. Put it in
Please
chat
leave him.
and then give it to me aloud what the final product is, please.
Please leave a message after the beep. I am not home.
Lamar in Blingdenstone. Several issues here. We'll need several sendings. Can you fix a Mythalar? If not, who can? What's a slime's weakness and strengths?
Slashing and lightning is their weaknesses.
Okay, Ash.
Gotta catch them all.
I'm just getting his response here.
No, that's
Take
fine.
Take your time.
Hey,
he says,
fuck off. That's it.
he says, what's a mitholler?
Yeah, sorry, I typoed. I was trying to get it all down.
I'm kidding. It would be kind of funny though if he was just. I'm sorry, I don't know what that word is.
He might not know what a Mythalar is. We don't know how powerful he is. He might not have heard of it.
Every wizard has heard of a Mythalar.
Oh, well then, good. That solves our problem then.
Theo looks to Zoltan.
Oh yeah, I know everything about Mythalars.
Not every wizard knows everything about them, but like everyone's heard of it the same way everyone has heard of a nuclear bomb. Like
I could probably repair a
it's a
Mythalar
thing
in my
you
sleep.
know about. It's not necessarily a thing you could build.
I could probably repair one in my sleep.
His response is, and this he's not sending through the stone, but he's actually sending a sending to you, which you can respond to.
Got it.
Can't fix Mythalar. Will find someone. Could take time. How broken? Slime weaknesses and strengths vary. Slashing duplicates them. Lightning empowers them. Acid immune.
Slashing duplicates. Lightning empowers. Poison immune.
Acid immune.
Acid immune. Can't fix Mythalar. Will find someone. May take time. How broken?
How broken?
When we find it, we'll let you know.
Okay, so you now have a sending.
Yep. Okay.
Didn't we kind of get everything we needed, though?
No. I don't think so.
Baru's like, not even close.
Not even close. So there are more questions. Okay. Can I, sound it out with you guys before I send it back, or do you want me to wait?
Yes, please.
You can absolutely sound it out with them first.
Okay.
You're on your own.
Need to find Mythalar. Probably pretty broken. Released Medusa.
I would say quite broken. Lost power? I mean, doesn't it usually lose its power when it breaks?
Well, if it's broken at all, it has no power.
Yeah, so just tell him it's broken. No power.
There's a difference between it being shattered and it being cracked and
well, we don't know, so
well,
we literally have
that's
no
what
idea.
He's asking you.
Yeah, you could say
we would just say
I would
once
just say
we find it,
we'll let
lost.
you know.
It's lost. Once found, we'll let you know. Just trying to get cover our bases in advance, but with minimal words.
Mythalar
unknown status.
Yep.
Locate.
Period. That's it.
Locate.
Mythalar unknown status, trying to locate.
So what else do we need to ask him?
We need to know if there's a way to identify slime people.
Is there a way to identify
a slime versus
slimes masquerading as people?
A slime Yeah. Disguised as people or masquerading?
People disguised slimes. People. Yeah, whatever.
Person doppelganger slime.
Mythalar unknown status trying to locate. Is there a way to identify a slime disguised as person? That puts us at 17.
We still don't know any weaknesses of a slime either, but you said it varies.
I don't.
He told you 3 things not to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sentient slime heading your way, named Blobby.
Friend, sentient, slime.
I feel like I want to save that for the last one. I don't want to garner questions about Blobby.
Also, he's like 40 years away or something like that.
So we need to warn him in advance.
40 years away.
Yeah. Any information about Jublex?
That's very vague. You could.
That's gonna get a lot too.
Avatar attempting to summon. Here.
Hey, you up?
Or maybe we could say, is there a way to identify slime disguised as person? Avatar of Jublex attempting to raise in city. I guess that's not really a question, but it's more just informing him. Oh, you know what? I'll be like, is there a way to identify a slime disguised as a person? Is it a magical effect? Right, because if it's a magical effect, then we know we can use... Like, is it a magical effect or biological? And that would...
he might just answer that based on what you just asked him. Is there a way to identify a slime versus a person? Well, maybe not.
Well, I feel like if you're gonna say, is there a way to tell the difference, then the rest of it is pointless to ask. If you're gonna ask the rest of it, then you could leave out one of the questions, and I feel like the better question to ask is just, is there a way to identify it? Because if he knows that there's a way to identify it, and identify will work, he will say...
Yeah.
I'm certain that he will say the first level spell that almost every wizard has is that will work. Like, he'll bring that up. You know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna be like, oh, this 9th level spell will work. Yeah, that first level spell would have worked. I guess I just didn't think of it.
Okay, sure. We still have a couple words left.
You can ask any demon problems in your city or something like that to know if there's anything going on there.
What is the message currently?
Mythalar unknown status trying to locate. Is there a way to identify a slime disguised as person?
How's your day? Because, we're asking him all this stuff, but we haven't asked about him,
How to stop Joybleck summoning ritual?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if he'll stop the slimes.
Can you come here and help us?
Yeah, be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Alright, that puts us at 23 words.
Okay.
That might be as close as we're gonna get for this one.
Okay, bye.
Alright, send it off.
Goodbye.
Let's see what we got.
Alright.
Yep.
Mythalar unknown status trying to locate. Is there a way to identify a slime disguised as a person? How to stop Jublex summoning ritual? him come back and be like, Jublex, what the fuck?
Why would
Probably
you want
too
to
severe. Nuke town. Leave. Done.
He's gonna come back with, why would you want to stop a Jubilex summoning ritual?
He's like, all hail the Pudding King. No, they got to him.
Alright, he responds to you. Locate Mythalar with Detect Magic and Meditation. If nearby, causes magical aura. Zone of Truth or other divination. Kill cultists only outside ritual site.
Zone of Truth.
Wait, can you say all that shenanigans again?
It's in the chat.
Locate
Oh,
Mythalar
okay.
with Detect Magic and Meditation. If nearby, causes magical aura. Zone of Truth or other divination. Kill cultists only outside ritual site.
Okay, so Zone of Truth or Divination will tell us about
Slimes.
And we can stop Jublex summoning by killing cultists, but only if we're not probably in the little pudding zone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that was again a sending back to you, so you have a response.
Right. We'll try finding Mythalar. Can't use. Well, I guess, yeah, like you said, he would have said you can use Identify. So, Zone of Truth, I don't know enough about divination magic to know, like, what sort of spells that give you that you could use, but...
Divination magic is a very wide category of spells. It's just generally spells to garner knowledge on things. For what it's worth, Identify is a divination spell. But was not specifically called out there, of course. Mainly, divination has spells that will just get you information on various things.
Got it. Yep. Okay.
Right, I was just checking that out, and correct. So it's still not ruled out.
Yeah, he's just basically saying, like, there's this whole category of spells for getting information. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he probably hasn't run into having to, like, solve this problem. Zone of Truth or Divination, kill cultists. Okay. We'll try finding Mythalar. Oh, should we ask him if he knows how to, cure Medusas? Or did we think that was just related to the Mythalar, and if we got the Mythalar fix, that would solve that problem?
You know that she is not a Medusa because of the Mythalar. She just has the additional aura because of the Mythalar.
Okay.
We know that being a Medusa is a curse, so
Yes.
if there's some way to remove that curse outside of, like, a wish spell...
Yes. Can Medusa curse be lifted?
I don't think you need to tell him we're looking for the Mythalar, because if location is unknown and we're asking him to fix it, I think he knows we're trying to look for it.
Right, and he gave us tips on how to help us find it.
Yeah, the fact that you're looking for it is implied.
Yeah.
Do you know how to cure a Medusa? Or uncurse a Medusa?
Very important.
Do you know how to uncurse a Medusa?
We're sending you a gelatinous cube named Blobby, his friend.
A gelatinous cube is headed towards Lithmythar.
I feel like we should try to get him to like go get the gelatinous cube.
That's asking a lot.
Well, Blobby's not gonna make it.
A gelatinous cube is headed towards Lithmythar. Blobby is
his friendly.
I think
8 silver bracelet.
I've told him about this slime before.
Right?
Yeah. He knows about this. He knows about Blobby already.
I told him that there was a slime that may have digested a silver bracelet and has become sentient.
So we can just say sentient blob is en route to Lithmythar. The sentient.
You could just say sentient blob. Yeah, silver.
Sentient silver bracelet blob headed to you.
Gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
Is friendly. Named Blobby.
Might need help getting there. Or he won't make it.
Let's see. That's 19 where I have... Do you know how to uncurse a Medusa? Sentient silver bracelet gelatinous cube headed to you. Blobby is friendly.
Like it.
Is
there anything else we're looking from him?
May need assistance to get there.
Yeah, but he's got so long to get there that I don't know if, like, we need to have him come out because, like, he's probably still 13 days away. If he was, like, 5 days away, I'd be like, go out to meet him. But, like, I don't want to send this guy on a wild goose chase.
I thought we were told, like, it was going to be, like, years for him to get there. Am I incorrect on that?
Blobby moves at, like, half our speed, and we gave him very general direction of where Lithmythar is. But whether or not he remembers or is going to meet anything on the way, we have no idea.
Right. I could have I thought the Regis system about like years for him to arrive. I could be mistaken.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I think we were joking at one point we'd just be wandering around the Underdark somewhere and pass a hallway and just Blobby's scooting down the hall.
Thank you for help. Thank you for the help.
Is there anything else we need to ask him? I think we got
that might stuff answered. Is that everything?
Oh, I think it would be useful to ask him if there's a way to block our dreams from getting out of me and Sultan's mind. But I don't know how you would ask him that.
I did also tell him that the broadcasting of dreams we likely believe to have been due to the bracelets.
I could say also dreams still broadcasting.
Hold up.
How to stop?
What if
stop?
What if the bracelets have something to do with the Mythalar?
Yeah, I'm seeing what that puts us.
Did y'all hear that theory?
Like somebody took the Mythalar and turned it into bracelets?
Right.
That puts us at 27 words. So if I can take out 2, I could just say
take out 2, like.
Yeah, I could say dream still broadcasting. No, how stop, or just say
how to stop? Question mark.
Yeah.
Do we know how long ago the cave-in happened? Because they couldn't have had the Mythalar prior to that section of the city falling in.
It was only a few days before you arrived.
So the bracelets probably aren't from the Mythalar then, because
the timeline does not match up.
Yep, yeah.
But I thought the Mythalar had been there since the ancient city collapsed or some shit.
Right, but nobody would have known where it is until that part of the city collapsed through this part of the Underdark. Because presumably Nahidra still was aware of where the Mythalar was before she fell out of that city.
Yeah. So yeah, those two problems of yours are probably not related.
Wouldn't it be great if they were? But yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Plenty of your problems are related, just not those two.
Yep.
Like the bracelets with the broadcasting of dreams.
I'm sure it's not slowly turning everybody around us into demons.
Yeah, we are right at 25.
Send.
Got it. All right. Do you know how to uncurse a Medusa? Sentient silver bracelet, gelatinous cube headed to you. Blobby is friendly. Dreams still broadcasting. How to stop? I'm just picturing like somebody walking by hearing me be like, "Dreams still broadcasting. How to stop?" And they're like, "Wow, their comment is terrible. Really broken."
It has also come to my attention that I may have a way of finding out shapeshifters, but it is a painful solution.
How?
There's this spell called Moonbeam.
Yeah, that'll kill commoners.
I mean...
Let them die.
So you're going with the bomb solution then.
I will say Baru is leaning towards the bomb solution at this point. Which is, a character flaw of hers.
I am of the opinion that if we at least take out the Pudding King and stop the summoning of Joyblex, the existence of slime people isn't necessarily a problem.
I would agree, and I also think that bombing only kills, like, I don't think it would kill the who we want it to kill or need it to kill. It'll only kill, the minor people. But the Pudding King would likely survive.
But also, cults and cultists have a way of sticking around in an insidious manner, and what may be a solution now will not be permanent and only become a bigger problem later on if you don't eradicate it completely.
Okay. He sends back to you via the sending stone, meaning this was probably his last sending, because he doesn't give you another one. Entmock's trial, since you're in Blingden Stone, if anyone remembers how. Prepared to receive test subject for bracelets. We'll know more about dreams with test subject.
Blobby, test subject.
I mean, that's what I thought he was. But...
Okay, this is good. Entmock's trial in Blingden. I don't know what that looks... That could be good.
What is that?
I have no idea.
It's however to uncurse a Medusa.
I think that we need to find a library.
Or ask the people our government official friends.
I think I would know where to find that information. I have the researcher feature.
Ooh.
I don't think they're friends.
Yeah, you would need to... There would be a couple places to find that information. The most easy of which would be Blingden Stone before it got sacked. The secondary one would be anyone who remembers from before Blingden Stone got sacked. So a particularly old priest or similar would be what you would be looking for.
What sort of temples or religious facilities are about the city?
The only religious facility in the city is the Speaking Stones. That is where people go to worship.
Okay, so we know where to go.
It's not like a temple in and of itself, but it's where worship is held.
Sure. So we can at least find information that may be helpful to Nahidra, but well, we don't have anything to fix this slime problem. Probably would be the kind of people that we would need to find anyway.
Yeah, they could probably do Zone of Truth if they're really old clerics. 2 birds, 1 stone, and all that.
Old clerics only. Young clerics out. Just kidding. All clerics welcome.
So that's probably something that we should do before going to talk to the Diggermatox, just in case we need to find out if they're slimes or have association with slimes.
Sounds reasonable.
Yep.
Also, identify is still on the table.
Yeah, that's always an option, but we don't know that it'll work. We also don't know that it won't work, but we just haven't had a confirmation that it works yet.
Right.
Anybody have any other plans besides go to the Speaking Stones?
I think if we get more information about this trial, that might be good to know, but I think otherwise we have to head to the Diggermatox at some point because we'll have to see, even if, regardless of slime ability or not, I think we have to either try to figure out if we know some slimes that are captured, or we can ask about what the Pudding King was talking about, because we can also always try to use the identify trick on an actual slime that's been captured, because as we said, we would negotiate a release back and forth, but we don't have to follow through with that, but it could be useful if they have slimes imprisoned.
Right.
We could at least figure out if identify does anything with one of them.
But yeah, I think the sending stones probably first, because that might help with a bit. And then, yeah, I don't know. I guess depending on the answers we get, we have to decide how we want to handle the slime situation, because that's not a fight we can win on our own.
Yeah.
If we're going to fight.
To the temples first, or Speaking Stones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think so.
Okie dokie. So you all are gonna start heading over to the Speaking Stones. Just drag you out here. Baru, Thea, Zoltan, and Kipo.
Ooh, is it on its own map?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Fancy.
I know.
Yeah, so arriving at the Speaking Stones, the area is populated, though not heavily when you arrive. The Speaking Stones themselves are a large ring of variously shaped stones that are resonating at different tones in patterns, with seemingly no interaction from the people outside. You can see walking around the Speaking Stones are some priests and some of what you would recognize as Galabdur, squat little earth elementals.
They're cute. Little rock buddies.
Now, Derek, don't name any of them or we're going to take them home.
Are any of them wearing a silver bracelet? That is a test subject that is an awaken?
None of them are wearing a silver bracelet, but Galabdur are intelligent.
Nice.
They don't
Cool.
need to be awakened.
Got it. Listen, with Derek, it's always a toss-up because either he's going to put the picture on the screen and it's going to be the cutest thing you've ever seen, or it's going to be the scariest, ugliest bug that's ever existed. So, I'm happy.
It's either great or horrifying, huh?
Yep. There's no in between.
It's either, oh, I love it, or, oh, why?
Yep. Pretty much. I'm like, oh no, I hate it.
It's scary. Run for your life.
Do any of the priests look older than the rest?
None of them look much older than Kipo.
Sorry, I missed that part. Much older than Kipo?
Yeah.
They all are?
I said none of them look much older than Kipo.
Maybe they studied.
Let's just start going asking if anyone can cast Zone of Truth.
Yep, I guess we'll just go up to the first one we see then.
Yeah, he gives you a nod as you approach. Have you come seeking something in the stones today?
I've actually come seeking some old information that may have been prevalent in older Blingden Stone, but not so prevalent now. Do you have any information about Entomoc's trial?
Sadly, no. We've been trying to rediscover it, but we haven't had any luck so far.
What is the trial exactly?
Well, that's what we can't figure out. It's a means to gain Entomoc's blessing to the individuals that complete it, but what we can't figure out is how to perform it.
Do I know who Entomoc is?
Oh yeah, Entomoc is a pretty popular figure in Blingden Stone. He is much the same way as Ogremoc is the elemental prince of evil for the earth element. Entomoc is the elemental prince of good for the earth element. He's basically the biggest, most powerful, good aligned earth elemental.
Maybe one of the elementals know about it then.
The priest says, "Oh, we've asked them, but they can't tell us. They do know, they just can't tell us."
Oh.
If they can't tell us, can they perform it?
He says, "We've tried that, and no."
So they won't even point you in the direction of it or anything. They just...
No. We've come to believe that it's on orders from Entomoc that we have to rediscover it on our own. But they won't confirm that for us either. They're plenty talkative most of the time. But on this, sadly, they've been quite silent.
Well, that's really unfortunate.
Why don't we just figure it out?
I don't have the first idea how we would start doing that.
Well,
I mean, we haven't had...
We have some oral records that we've managed to gather. We know that it involves traveling somewhere, retrieving something, creating something, and defeating something. Yes,
So
I know, it's about as helpful as we've found.
Yeah, that could pretty much just be anything at all.
It could.
At least you know there's multiple steps.
We know specifically there are those 4 steps.
Are there any like ancient legends of Entomok? Are there any like ancient weapons of Entomok?
Entomok isn't a god. He doesn't have a favored weapon or anything as such.
Are there any records of people who have received their blessing previously?
It says, yes, those we have. We even have records of what particularly it did to them.
I'm presuming these people aren't alive currently to provide the information as such how they achieved that.
Some of them may be alive, just not here, but none of them are in Blingdenstone.
Do any of them have family in Blingdenstone?
Yes, and we've interviewed them. They're aware that the trial was undertaken, but not the specifics of it.
Gotcha.
They know that the people that undertook it were gone for about a week. Which gives us at least a rough search area for where they might have gone.
Well, tabling that for now, are any of you capable of casting Zone of Truth?
Not today, but tomorrow, certainly.
I think that'll have to do.
Yeah, if you can have as many priests prepared as possible, that would be helpful. It may help the city with the ooze problem.
He nods and says, yes. There are 4 of us, and we can all have it ready by tomorrow.
Is there any way we can see that list of people who have received the blessing in the past?
Yes. Presumably you only want those that could still possibly be alive.
Yeah, we're not quite adept enough at speaking with those that have passed.
He nods and says, I just wanted to confirm it was more for practical than historical use.
You say could possibly be still alive, like you don't know whether or not they're still alive.
Well, we don't. We know that they're
not in Blingdenstone.
In Blingdenstone, but we don't know if they have survived wherever they went.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the people who were able to cast Zone of Truth.
Oh,
Whenever
no.
you said you only want the people who are still alive. Yeah, we only want the people who are still alive. Like that, I feel like that. Sorry.
A moment, and he'll scurry off to go get that list for you.
If one of the elementals pass by, I'll sort of look at him and be like,
yeah, they're sort of wandering around.
Entomok's trial?
Ha!
Just a hint?
He says, you should talk to the priests in Primordial.
I don't speak Primordial.
I do.
Thank goodness Kipo's here. He's the only one of us that can talk to anybody in this city.
Seriously, anywhere we go.
Kipo's really just got all of the talking ability, doesn't he?
He does have a lot of languages. He like pinged them the other day, and I was like, I've got like 3.
I took the Sage background, so I got a couple extras.
And one of them's Thieves' Can't. Like, I've got Common and Goblin done.
Well, if we run into goblins, it'll be super helpful.
We ran into that one goblin that didn't help us for shit. All we did was break.
You ran into Vic.
Saved his life.
we got Vic, and we kept him alive. The one person we kept alive
He
only
gave
because
us a +1 survival.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, never say he didn't do nothing for you.
Exactly. We got
I
to
don't
pull
think I
off
have
a
that mushroom
crazy.
sample anymore.
We got to pull off a crazy ass stunt saving him.
That was a fun stunt.
That was fun.
What do you mean you don't have that mushroom sample anymore?
That was the last time a plan of ours went well.
I'm pretty sure it was on. I'm pretty sure it was on Stool's body, and nobody else picked it up unless Ray like put it in her room or something. But
can we use Ray's room as like a storage shed?
Well, I don't think she'd agree to it, but if she agreed to it, I would assume yes.
Who cares? Just stuff her pockets full of stuff in her backpack. She'll never know.
Reverse picket pocket her every time she's around.
Or dropping things in like a little like mesh pocket.
We're gonna try next time she's here. Don't tell her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There will be a sleight of hand check.
There's an Elder Scrolls, quest where you gotta slip a ring into someone's pocket.
Yeah.
Just hey, can we keep our lawnmower in your shed?
We need to get her curtains too.
We do.
If I see a fabric store on the way of running around the city, can we stop and buy some curtains?
Why curtains?
Because Ray needs curtains to cover up the damn window of the looming whatever thing that's coming.
It doesn't change it's coming.
Whoops, I hit enter too early. I had a couple extra names for you. Sorry.
I think if you cover it up, you don't see it or stare at it, so you can't
accidentally call to it.
Come faster, yeah.
Are any of these names like? Do any of them stand out? Or like, are any of them like recognizable names?
Fossil teeth.
Not to Chris, but maybe to Kipo.
Maybe to any of us. We don't know.
Right. That's.
Okay, there's the last two.
Name.
Yeah, so the priest comes back having apparently been communing with one of the stones. He comes back and tells you, that is the list of all living people who have completed Entmox's trial.
Are any of them familiar to any of us?
I don't know.
None of the names seem familiar to me. I wouldn't think.
Does Jorlin know the one drow on the list?
Jorlin looks at you and says,
I don't ask it like that. I didn't ask him.
I don't know. Do you know the tiefling? You're both planers, aren't you?
I look at Baru like noddingly, like I approve of that question.
He says, "I can
more
tell."
Just like us.
He says, "I can tell you that's not a drow name." So you would be looking for a drow raised by a, I don't know, elf, human, something like that.
I meant more. It wasn't a name from like the prison. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my sentence speaking. I don't think you know all the drow. That would be ridiculous.
Oh,
I can tell you with surety that drow was not raised as a drow.
Are the people so above
so everyone who doesn't have a specific race is a Svirfneblin.
Got it. Kipo, you recognize any of those Svirfneblins?
Nope.
They all don't live in the city, though, right? Isn't that what they said, that they left Blingdenstone?
None of those people. When we've asked the stones if any holders lived within the city, it's said no.
Yeah.
This time I've asked it just for every living person who has completed the trial, and there you are.
And you mentioned that some of the recipients had family still in the city. Does that include any of the living recipients?
No. Our best guess is these are people who have completed it elsewhere than Blingdenstone. But we haven't been able to get a straight answer out of the Galabdur about that.
I'll ask one of the Galabdur. Would Entomoc's trial be able to remove a Medusa's curse from somebody?
It looks at you and studies you for a moment and says, "The curse of the Medusa is deeply rooted in the earth element."
So would the person cursed with the Medusa, would the Medusa need to complete the Intiman's thing trial, or would anyone who had completed Intiman's trial be able to help the Medusa not be a Medusa?
Since it only speaks primordial, it doesn't answer.
Oh, hey Kipo, could you one, understand what I'm trying to say, and then two, maybe form it in a more intelligent manner?
Does the individual hoping to receive the blessing have to complete the trial, or may others complete the trial for them to receive the blessing?
Entomoc's trial is not something that can be given to another, only taken for oneself.
Got it. You know...
The priest is looking on and says, "That's more than we've ever been able to get out of them. They must like you or something."
I have that effect on people.
Nahidra is very old. She might know about this trial.
I could send to her.
Actually.
When I am able to get
Nahidra's actually from before Entomoc.
Oh, no, that's really
no,
good.
he didn't exist when I was existing.
Nahidra's too old.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I'm really confused about this. The timeline here of Nahidra's older than this thing, and she fell off of this long collapsed island city Dalaran thing, and now the gem that powered the city is broken and dispersed, but it didn't happen recent. I'm just confused. I don't know.
So way back in the past, the Netherese pretty much conquered everything, and they had hundreds of floating cities powered by Mythalar.
Mm-hmm. I get all that.
They all crashed and plummeted to the ground, and the Netherese all died.
I get all. Yep, got that. My confusion lies in the fact that.
Hold on, let Chris finish. He's going.
Okay.
The majority of the cities ended up underground, having plummeted to the earth and then being buried at some point. So they're probably somewhere in the Underdark. Mm-hmm. Nahidra was trapped in some sort of weapon cage and apparently didn't age.
Medusas don't age.
Okay.
That's a Medusa thing.
and she said she was trapped in a lava flow and was trying to calculate when to release the pod to escape. There must have been some sort of seismic shift that allowed her to do so. And we don't really know much about the Mythalar from that city besides the fact that it's broken and probably still resides wherever the rest of the city's ruins are.
Okay.
Which is probably somewhat close, seeing as Nahidra crashed through the ceiling.
But in theory, that Mythalar stone's been there for hundreds of years.
Thousands.
Wherever it is now.
Thousands.
Right. So then why couldn't the bracelets be made of Mythalar?
Oh, so they could probably be made of a Mythalar, but not necessarily this one. Because Nahidra was aware of where this one was until she fell through the ceiling a couple days ago. So someone would have had to find the ruins, take it away, and Nahidra told us that it was there in the city's ruins.
But it could be. But and I guess it's completely gone now because I think Derek has confirmed that the Mythalar has nothing to do with the bracelets. But I guess I was just thinking because of the Mythalar doing the wah kind of like the word is eluding me at the moment.
Aura, maybe?
Yeah, kind of enhancement of powers. I guess.
Oh, so you're not necessarily insinuating that the bracelets are made of Mythalar, but that they're enhancing the ability to broadcast your dreams?
Because of Mythalar.
Okay.
They are made of Mythalar, or something to do with Mythalar, which is what causes their enhancing power to broadcast dreams.
They very well could be. Chris is only positing that it's not this specific Mythalar that is involved.
Gotcha.
Not that there's no Mythalar involved at all.
Okay.
So, Mythalar aside, we would probably need to have Nahidra with us to do this, or tell her about it and see if she could find it in order for her to receive the boon. Although there's nothing saying that if we all went through it together, we couldn't all receive it. We just would be putting ourselves in danger if we did it with her.
Slowly turning to stone.
Unless we kept a distance that was just outside of auras.
Or you can fix this turning to stone aura first, and then fix the Medusa thing.
Yeah.
That's true, because if that's related to the Mythalar and we fix the Mythalar...
So do we want to attempt to try to...
I also don't understand how the broken Mythalar... If the Mythalar is broken, then why is her power still being enhanced?
So it can't be that broken then, because it's still able to enhance her power. Right?
If it is the Mythalar, she could have just been modified by the Netherese to be a weapon.
Yeah.
Didn't someone say it was the Mythalar? Didn't she tell us it was the Mythalar?
I mean, or it could just be an effect that just lasts permanently versus...
We were told it's broken and it has no power.
The Digamatox told us that it was the Mythalar.
Yeah, they wanted us to locate the Mythalar so that they could have the power, so who knows.
Which, I mean, I feel like, is there a reason to go looking for the Mythalar at the moment?
I mean, as a power-up, it depends on if it's, like, in the city. Also, to have it under... Not that we need to go looking for it, but
trying to figure out the slime issue versus the Mythalar.
Yes.
Well, I feel like if we're going to hunt the Mythalar, that is essentially leaving the city on its own. So we're
Slimes.
Yeah.
I think Slimes is our precedent right now.
Yeah.
I think number one is we gotta fix the slime issue at hand, and then from there we can go do the cooler stuff that we actually want to do. None of us want to deal with these slime people, but I feel like we have to.
Right. My only thought is if the Mythalar is in the city, we don't have to leave the city to find it, or we can grab it. Not the Entomox Spoon thing, but just, or trial, cave, test, whatever, gift. if we get the Mythalar, it takes it out of play for either side. So the Diggermatox don't have it, and the slime doesn't have it. Because if the slime gets it, that's going to increase their power. And if the Diggermatox get it, we can't go up against it. That's the only thing that I would say could push towards like looking for it if it's in the city. But yeah, I agree. I don't think it's like the most pressing matter. I also think we have like specific instructions on how to find it. So we don't need to like, spend that time if we don't want to. That's just my only thought, is if it's in the city and we have it, it gives us power and takes it out of play for the other people.
As a player, I am down to follow whatever leads we want to. We don't necessarily need to save the city. Kipo would prefer to. But I feel like if we spend the time to try and find the Mythalar, we may be too late because we don't know how long the summoning ritual for Joyblix is.
I agree. I think we need to take care of the slimes. I feel like even looking for the Mythalar might just be like a lost cause, because if it's broken,
right,
you can't do anything with it anyways, and none of us knows how to fix it.
I feel like 100% as characters we gotta focus on the slimes, and as players, like, ooh, shiny object is walking in the room, and I really want to go figure out the shiny object. That seems really, really cool right now. But like that other thing that's not so shiny is really like the character's thing to do.
Because we have no clue how long this ritual needs.
Holy shiny
it could
object.
Be tomorrow, correct?
I prefer to have the Zone of Truths ready when we talk to the Diggermatox, but we've got to tell them today about what the Pudding King said. We can't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Can we ask any other questions at like the priests here at this like sending stone thing? Could we ask them something that we want to find out and see if we get an answer? I don't know how the religion works here.
So, mild bit of pedantry. These are speaking stones, not sending stones.
Sorry. Had sending on the brain.
Yeah, I know.
They may speak to you.
What sort of thing are we trying to find out from here?
Well, we could ask if the Diggermatox are slimes and see if they can give us an answer on that. We could also ask if your mother is a slime and see if they could give us an answer on that, if it would make you feel at peace to know, or if you've just made your peace with who she is.
Derek, do I know if the speaking stones are like a sort of commune spell?
They are, but a particularly unreliable one. Not that they tend to give false answers, but just that they often don't work. They're they're a telephone, but the person on the other end doesn't always pick up.
Yeah, you can't ask it all of the really smart plot answering questions, so your DM has an excuse to tell you to go find it out. I got you.
It's like that. It's kind of like you got to roll a 7 or below on a D100, whatever that. I can't remember the name of that spell.
That's divine intervention, is what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I mean, or we could ask it any other sort of thing. We don't have to. It was just a thought, since we're here and we have, we've gotten some good information out of our.
I mean, the worst that could happen is nothing happens.
Yeah, but
Well, to be fair, the worst that could happen is we offend them and they come out and like kill us, strike us down for asking such a stupid question or something. Which is why I'm not going to do the talking. Hey,
I mean, we could also ask how long it takes for the ritual.
The priest says, if your god is that easily offended, you may need a new god.
Fair enough. I was just saying the worst, the worst that could happen. If they're a god, then they could do that.
I wouldn't be one to presume that the priests here know about demon summoning rituals.
Yeah.
We know that they're bad, the priest says.
Pretty sure the average
That's all you need to know.
Knows
You've got it locked in.
So you could say we have the gist.
But
Yeah.
but not necessarily all people that summon demons are bad, you know. Sometimes it's an accident.
No, summoning demons is an inherently evil act.
But
I think it has to be fairly conscious. You don't just stumble upon summoning a demon.
Well, you sometimes stumble upon summoning a demon,
you
but
could
you
actually-
don't know that you're doing
Right.
it until you do it.
I mean,
Right.
can you
There-
think?
It does. 1 in a million chance. But
I think there's
happen.
possibilities of accidentally summoning demons. I'm just saying.
I don't think it's possible without willingly sacrificing a life.
Did we sacrifice a life?
I don't think
We did kill. We did.
Who did
we
kill? Who did we
The
kill?
Wastrolith.
But we did not think it was going to lead to a demon summoning. Intentional kill, unintentional summoning.
I am playing the naive card. Let's move on.
Oh.
I mean, it was a demonic/infernal entity of itself.
Who
Who knew sacrificing one demon would lead to another?
Wild.
I know for the future.
The priest says, but yes, if any of you wish to try to commune with your god, the speaking stones are open for all to use.
Crap. There is
a
different god we could contact. We have to use our god.
Oh, they just go
You
to
don't want
any
to
Why
god.
would you
God?
want to contact one that was not the one you worship?
I don't really worship any.
Oh, so this is just a conduit.
Yes.
I get it. It's like the red phone to tile the White House.
I don't know what you mean.
Is anybody close to
I don't
their
either,
god?
to be honest.
That's an excellent question.
Are we a godless party?
I thought they asked.
I don't know about y'all, but
Is
Ray
it
and I
Peru-
definitely have deity statues.
Yeah,
Is it?
Ray and Kipo both have deities that they actually like. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Isn't Baru an SMR?
That doesn't mean that she's close to her deity.
Religious,
Yeah.
I don't even think I have a deity. I don't have a god.
You do not.
I'm fairly certain I don't have a god.
Indeed, you don't.
I am not.
That tends
I am
to be a
not
Clinton
quite on
thing.
speaking terms with my god right now.
Thea is a free spirit.
All right, so that leaves Kipo, who could actually use this. Or I suppose if Jorlin wanted to contact Lolth, he could give it a try.
Let's send Jorlin up to bat. He hasn't done anything this set. Come on, Jorlin.
Remember when he said like the whole like if your god would strike you dead thing?
Yeah, Lolth.
Maybe we should talk to Lolth. I'm just saying.
Sorry, Kipo.
And you're a dude. Doesn't Lolth not like dudes?
She does particularly dislike males, yes.
Right. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't talk to Lolth.
So, do we have things we particularly want to ask about? Just whether or not people are slimes?
I don't remember.
I think that, yeah, if we don't want to ask about the, what's it called?
The ritual?
Summoning time. Yeah. And the Mythalar.
I honestly don't remember.
So I would say just the slimes, because at least if we can get one answer on that, it'll help us decide, like, how much to share and who we can talk to or something like that. You know what I mean?
What do we ask?
If this works anything like commune, then it's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Does identify work?
The priest will say, it's
It's
slightly
yes.
better. Sometimes we get single words that aren't yes or no.
I mean, we could ask, are the Diggermatox slimes? See if you get a yes or a no.
Or a maybe.
Alright.
Unknown.
Let's see if the Wild Wanderer has some time to spare.
Wild Wanderer.
keep in mind deities also have more information about things that are within their own domain.
Which is not down here.
No, not particularly.
The Wild Wanderers' domains, being travel, nature, and forest gnomes.
There's definitely a forest down here.
If we really want to, I can ask my god.
Your god's domain definitely would cover down here.
Yeah.
Are you just not close to your god?
No. I don't even know if she'll answer me.
I'd rather not.
Are you on good terms?
I don't really want to put her eye on me at all, is kind of the issue. But if we need the information...
Does your god only have one eye?
I mean, that's up to you. Whether risk versus benefit, I don't know your relationship with your god.
Shit.
You said eye singularly. Is she a Cyclops god?
She is not.
Oh.
But she knows the darkness.
Pirate? Is she a pirate god?
She's not a god worth knowing, trust me. You're better off being in the dark about it.
I want to know.
I'm better off
do you
being
worship
a free
an evil god?
Spirit.
Do you worship an evil god?
I don't worship an evil god. I don't.
Well, let me rephrase that. Did you used to worship an evil god?
Haven't we all worshipped an evil god at one point or another?
No.
No.
You know, I wouldn't say so, no.
I've not worshipped any god, so therefore I have not worshipped an evil god.
Worship is a generous term for the affair. I grew up in a religion I no longer practice, so I didn't really know another way of life.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. And then as soon as you were old enough to make your own decisions, you said, hey, this is bad.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. With that. We'll just roll with that.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds like the amount of information you're going to get from me about it at this point. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely more her area than that. I guess I can add, but
well,
it just, I know we have targets on our back already, and if I attempt to commune, it may put more danger following us.
Is it Lolth?
It's not Lolth.
Oh, that's good.
You know, why don't we just save that one in a back pocket then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always come back if we have a really pressing question.
Let's circle back to
You can always wait and see what kind of answer Kipo gets and see if you need
it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Kipo's god at least is a nice guy.
Yeah, at least Kipo's god isn't gonna, like, smite him where he stands.
You know, he's kind of out of his domain here, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
My god's got a friendly raccoon.
Yeah.
That's right, he does have the raccoon. I remember you telling me about this.
I kind of want a raccoon.
I will go up to the Speaking Stones and try to make contact with the Wild Wanderer.
What do you say or ask?
I will ask if Seni or Dorbo Diggermatok have been replaced by any shape-shifting entities. And is there a way to peacefully resolve the issues with the pudding court?
Yes.
Yes to which question?
Yes.
You asked too many. You should have kept it one.
All right. Well,
maybe that's a yes to both.
No.
You have fun with that.
That question and answer is literally going in the garbage. It's not useful.
And Kipo, you can no longer hear the stones humming.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, you said and. You said and. You said the way you worded the question was Sunny and whatever the fuck Digamatok infiltrated by
blah blah
slimes,
blah. And is there a peaceful way? Is that what you said?
Is there a peaceful way? That is exactly what he said. So and would indicate a yes would indicate that both were yeses.
Is that why Derek was thinking so dang hard?
Derek won't. We're getting nothing.
He's not going to give you anything.
Is that what you exactly said, Kipo?
If you take both of my questions as one sentence, then yes, that is what I was asking.
You said and.
Have Seni and Dorbo been replaced by shape-shifting entities, and is there a peaceful way to resolve the issues with the Pudding Court?
Digital logic would state that.
Oh my god.
That a yes means, and those questions were joined by an and gate, which means the yes is for both.
Well, good news, bad news. It seems the government has been infiltrated by slimes. And we don't have to go to war?
Well, we don't know what the peaceful solution is.
Well, I'm sure hoping it's not let them summon Joyblix.
Yeah.
Maybe we kill the Sunny and Cher, and then...
That's not so peaceful.
That's gonna throw the whole city into upheaval, if that happens.
True. But if we expose them as slimes first... But why would they want to bomb the slime if they were slimes? Oh, it's that thing that you remember, that thing where you like act that
reverse psychology.
Yeah. Oh, I hate the slimes so much. Well, they're obviously not slimes because they hate slimes. You know what I'm saying? But they really are slimes.
I think we need to confirm
to be fair, that was only
if they're
Dorbo's
slimes or not.
stance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that not both of them are slimes.
Oh, that's fair. Because we just asked if they've been infiltrated by slimes, which means possibly only one.
I mean, maybe that's... I would hate to out a potential ally of ours, but we know that Sunny has been much more agreeable and much more willing to work and let us do things with the slimes, while Dorbo has been much more antagonistic. So it could be that she's working with them.
And she was the one that came up with the two people that were her suggestions, and one of which had disappeared into the slime land. We don't know if the other one...
No, she didn't give us those suggestions.
She didn't.
No, that was the other guy.
Those were from Zeltron.
You're right.
But she didn't have any objections to them.
No, she didn't have
any
objections.
And had no objections with changing the law. So.
And she got... Oh, but she did get excited, kind of, about them being it. And the one... We don't know which one she was excited about, just that she was okay with them. And one of them, we do know, went into slime territory.
So the only way to confirm them is to bring a priest. Which we can only do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm standing right here. I could identify them.
We don't know identify works, though.
We still
don't want to tip our hat.
Correct, but if it doesn't, we're back to square one. We need something we know that works. So if we know Zone of Truth works, then you can use Identify and see what it does.
Well,
to further use it.
The Zone of Truth doesn't necessarily work.
It definitely does. We got told by Dromar that it works.
If they fail to throw, probably.
It definitely works if they If they fail, they get a chance of resisting the spell. And if they resist the spell, they don't have to tell the truth. If they fail, then they have to tell the truth, and you say, "Hey, are you a slime?"
So we can use both on.
But I don't know if we know.
We get.
Do you know if they fail?
I don't think so. You don't know if they're lying, correct?
The spellcaster knows if they fail.
Oh.
Well, more accurately, the spellcaster knows if they succeed, but that implies they also know if they fail.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, they also have to be willing for you to cast Identify on them, right?
Technically, no. If you hold them down for a minute, you could do it.
Right. But it's a minute.
It doesn't require a willing creature, but practically, yes.
I feel like
a restrained creature for 1 minute.
Yeah.
I feel like you could hold down both Sunny and
they have guards.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like physically, yes, I could do that. In terms of achieving political consensus, probably shouldn't do that.
Sure.
I'm stuck on the peaceful solution part, because if there's any solution involving the pudding court, it's letting them do what they want.
Which is
because if we don't let them do what they want, then they're going to kill everyone. So if we let them do what they want, they summon Joyblix.
But they also kill people who don't agree with them.
Maybe if it's like killing the one king frees the rest of them or something.
I mean, so Joyblix wants to what does Joyblix want? Just to turn people into slimes and rule slimes?
What does every demon
You can make
want?
a religion check if you want, Zoltan.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, Zoltan, you don't know a ton about Joyblix, but you do know that he has only one goal. Consume.
Okay, that doesn't sound very peaceful.
Not consume any specific thing, just consume. Until there is nothing but Joyblix.
That sounds not very... I mean, you could argue that it's the ultimate peace, if you wanted to.
Ah, yes, much like Anakin bring balance to the Force, huh?
Younglings and the women and the men and the Jedi.
So I guess the question is, are we going to try to talk to Sunny and Dorbo today?
I mean, I feel like even if we don't know their true motives, it can't hurt to talk to them to get an idea, because if we're nervous about the time that this is going to take, I'm nervous of wasting a day not trying to do anything. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, because even if they are working for the Pudding King, anything we tell them about what we experienced with the Pudding King, they would theoretically probably know, because somebody's probably told them.
The Pudding King said that Blankenstone, the government, has hostages, correct? So,
yeah.
Can we ask to see one of those said hostages?
I would like to. I think that would be a good question to ask of them.
Oh, Clinton can just cast Identify, then we can see what it actually freaking does.
If it's not in slime form, if it's in slime form, it doesn't do shit.
I'm okay with trying that. My only thought is it may be an interpretation of they closed off the gates and wouldn't let any pass, therefore there are hostages in the city.
You mean the people that are slimes just walking around?
Oh,
yes.
We're not.
Yeah.
Whether or not Sunny and Dorbo actually have prisoners.
Yeah, so I want to figure that out.
It'd be a question we ask them when we go talk to them.
Yeah.
Ready to go talk to them?
As ready as we're gonna be.
All right.
Do we have any acid we can throw on them?
Digger Matok Hall we go.
They're immune to acid.
Yeah, so if it doesn't burn them, they're slime.
And if it does burn them, we just assaulted the freaking governor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And if it does, you're dead.
I spilled my potion on you.
Sorry to put all the onus of speaking on you
good
today,
news,
people.
bad news. The good news is you're not slimes. The bad news is, sorry. You know, I also...
Yeah, as you come in, Sunny greets you, and you can understand her.
All of us?
Shit.
Yeah. She says,
"Oh,
welcome back. Since we're talking to you so much, I had one of the priests use tongues on me."
Wait, but then you don't understand us?
No, tongues works both ways. I can't read your language.
Oh, tongues. Wait, tongues? Tongues? Is tongues the 3rd level one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, comprehend language. Oh, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want that spell.
Well, that was mighty nice of you.
yeah, it was very generous.
Instead of us just twiddling our thumbs.
And I can also translate for Dorbo for you.
Well, we went inside the closed-off quarter, and things are pretty grim.
Yes, I understand that you've returned with someone. And you were able
yes.
to confirm that she was not a slime.
Correct.
Excellent.
It seems, however, the majority of people that have been taken over there have been consumed by the various slimes for being traitors to the pudding court.
That is unfortunate.
There are maybe 100 people currently left, about 40 of which are actively being consumed, and the other 60 are at least putting on a face of compliance.
She translates for Dorbo, who immediately says in Gnomish, "See, we can't allow this to go on. We need to just destroy the place."
I would like to I think I'm trying to keep my eye on her, specifically her, and read her just how she's accepting, how she's I don't know how to word it.
Processing
reacting to the information?
Yeah, reacting, and if she's tipping a hat to the fact that, of the, the information, specifically information that that we give about the Pudding King and the goings on of the Pudding King, as if it's is she absorbing it and as oh,
is she surprised by any of it?
Not surprised as much as is she taking it on as hearing about her long this. I want to know if she's a slime, first of all. I think she's a slime. So is she hearing it and reacting in a slight way that would indicate it's good to hear of him, or it's good to hear that they're doing well? You know what I'm saying?
You can roll an insight check. That's a lot of stuff you just said, though.
I know. I'm trying to get one point across by the what I'm trying to do, I guess.
All right. Tell me what it is you're trying to figure out.
I am trying to figure out if she is a pudding.
Okay.
By reading.
You can roll an insight check.
Okay.
You cannot tell that she is a pudding.
Right. Okay. I'm still reading her.
Yeah. She translates what Dorbo says and says, as much as I am against the idea of destroying a portion of the city, I'm starting to wonder what choice we're left with.
So they mentioned that you have hostages on your side. Do you guys have any slimes, like confirmed slimes that you know of held somewhere? Or we're trying to figure out if they meant possible people that are walking about as these slime doppelgangers, as hostages.
As far as I know, we don't have any slimes imprisoned.
Because they were willing to trade hostages for hostages.
I have to imagine that they're talking about slimes that we're not aware of.
We also figured out a couple methods of determining, other than this, because the sniff only helps for, if you have the article of clothing, but two, if, like, for instance, if they've been living here as a citizen for 2 weeks, but they've been that slime for 2 weeks, all of the articles will now smell like they smell. And so the were rats would not necessarily be able to distinguish them anymore. It works great if they're leaving the slime complex, due to the fact that they haven't been around that stuff. But once they've been around that stuff, the smells kind of start to blend together. But there are the spells that we previously had discussed identify, and you had mentioned that there was a lot of resources to throw at it. And there's also the Zone of Truth. Spell that
we had any practical success with any of these?
We have not. Well, the only thing is we haven't found one that we know to be able to test it to figure out if it works, if that makes sense.
It does. I had just hoped it was otherwise.
Sure. So, but I thought at the very least we should, especially with your incoming election, the people who are running, I think as a display should, agree to do both, to be identified, to verify that doesn't work, and to permit themselves to go under the Zone of Truth spell, and say, hey, I'm not a slime. That way,
I think that's an excellent idea, so long as it's done out of the public eye. We are still trying to keep under wraps that the slimes could be anyone, because if that got out, we'd have neighbors turning on neighbors, people killing each other in the streets over imagined suspicions. It would be chaos.
Sure. But the people who are running should at least submit to...
Yes, and the guards are of course aware, but we'd have to do it quietly and secretly.
Sure.
Now that I think about it, wouldn't destroying the part of the city just give them what they want?
Yes.
Enough sacrifices to summon Joyblix?
Yeah, so it's not an option. So I was...
She says, well, I think we could destroy the entire building that they're using to channel whatever ritual they're doing at the same time. We're not talking about just walking in and killing a few people. We're talking about disintegrating the entire area.
Can you confirm that does not summon a demon, though?
And I mean, likely the Pudding King himself would probably survive, since he's like the main one. And if he was the one casting the spell, it would just power him to be able to complete it. Right? And all those others would serve as sacrifices. We've learned recently that, to summon a demon, like, you have to sacrifice.
I don't know that somebody even has to be there to cast the spell, so long as, you've, like, prepared it in advance.
They're sacrificed, yeah. My thing is, can you confirm that blowing up that part of the city does not, in fact, sacrifice all those people to Jublex and just summon him anyways?
She says, if they had enough people there to sacrifice to summon Joyblex, wouldn't they have already done so?
I don't know if they want to sacrifice their own people.
Well, I think they're working on it, but it maybe need to be done at once, or I don't know. And I think though, remember, again, so.
I mean, you have a good point, but
Dorbo says, and she translates. If we destroy the building itself and then attack the people within, we should be able to avoid that.
And
who are you going to get to attack the people within? Are you going to have people
the guards, of course,
of the city and the guards help?
Yes.
But the destroying the building is that still keeping the ritual?
I don't know.
Because
you've been inside the building. What sort of ritual was being done?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Did we see a ritual?
Did you see anything that would indicate how they were summoning Joyblex?
I mean, they were turning people into slimes.
There was writing on one part.
Oh, but none of us could read it.
But it was a language we didn't understand.
So you can't say what it said?
No.
Maybe if we could get one of those tongues cast on us, we could go back.
You think you could?
Tongues doesn't let you read.
Oh, that's right. I could get a comprehend languages, I guess.
I have an extra comprehend languages stone.
Why didn't we fucking use that?
we were focused on a very different mission while we were in there than casually picking up some information.
I know.
All we know is sacrificing them within the ritual will just sacrificing, killing them will just further the ritual.
Are we certain of this?
Well, yeah, and I think especially
pretty sure that's how it goes. We've had a little bit of experience in the past.
But you just said you don't even know what kind of ritual they're doing in there.
Well, we
don't.
So
the only thing we know is that sacrificing or killing people within the summoning grounds is bad.
And I think there's like a time frame, and if you have like a bunch of little, you may take like a lot of little people, or like, you know, one or a couple like greater beings, if that makes sense, or, you know, so like if there's just let's just call them, you know, common folk, you know, lying around, you might require 100 common folk. But if you have,
I understand the idea that you're saying. I'm asking, how do you know this to be true?
We don't, but we don't know it's not true either.
Well, we know about similar rituals. We don't know specifically theirs, I guess.
Without knowing theirs, how can you even know that it's similar?
They're summoning a demon.
Right.
I assume it's going to be similar to summoning other demons.
I would imagine that summoning the demon lord Joyblex is quite different than summoning a common demon.
But is it similar to summoning, say, like the Pale Knight?
Again, I don't think any of us have the information to know that.
Yeah. I mean, if we go back in there, even to try to gather more information, they're expecting. We went in there as ambassadors, quote unquote, last time to try to solve this peacefully.
Well,
They gave us terms to bring back. So if we're going to go back in, even if it's under the pretense of being ambassadors, again, we need some plan to.
Well, we don't know the. They said that they wanted an exchange of prisoners, right?
As far as I know, we have none.
And they have none, so we need to figure out who they're talking about when they say prisoners.
Also, they're under the thought process that you have actively declared war on them.
They were stealing our people.
Aside from that, you killed a couple slimes.
They're slimes.
I understand.
That's racist.
Well, welcome to the pudding court.
Yeah, we're just the messengers.
Alright, so clearly there's no reasoning with them then.
It kind of seems that way. They were all like, these people are traitors to us. Well, why are they traitors? Because they came here, but now they don't want to be slimes.
So
they're traitors.
If there's no way to reason with them, no peaceful solution, and we can't allow them to complete whatever it is they're doing, our only option is, and again, I was not initially on board with Dorgo's idea, but our only remaining option is to attack them.
I don't disagree attacking them. I disagree with blowing the entire dome up at once.
If we attack them and we can't kill them while they're within that dome, all they have to do is stay in there and we can't attack them. Correct?
Maybe there's a way to lure them out. Maybe we sort of set a plan up as we're doing a prisoner exchange, and when they come to bring out the prisoners and we bring ours in, it's just actually an attack.
We don't even know who they are.
Well,
we don't know who the prisoners are.
So, dress guards disguised as prisoners and have the rest of the guards carry action. I'm not saying we take like actual common civilian people. I'm saying we masquerade a.
Wouldn't they know if it's?
Yeah, I feel like they will know if this they probably will know that's not a slime or that is a slime. You know what I'm like? I feel like they know their own.
They're able to read thoughts.
Say we're coming for our unconditional surrender, and we'll come, and then as we come in and launch an attack, anything to try to draw some people out of the dome. The force,
the rest could just stay within it, yes?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to come out of the dome.
If we act under the assumption that we cannot kill them while they're within the dome, we have no options.
What if we get those...
We can't.
Yeah, I mean,
we can't wait them out because they'll finish whatever it is they're doing. We can't negotiate with them because, as you've said, they're clearly insane.
What if we get some of those anti-magic stones, go in there, and then boom, anti-magic field right around the Pudding King?
Do we know that he's what's causing the ritual to happen?
No.
Then we don't know that that would work.
Well, throw a couple in there. There's the prince and the princess, probably. I feel like it's either the king, the prince, or the princess. Like, it's gotta be one of those three.
That's just assuming stuff.
Sure.
They could have low beings doing all the work.
Yeah.
And they get to sit on the throne and look pretty.
But I mean, I'm just gonna say, if you were trying to summon a god, wouldn't you were wouldn't you want to be the person? So when they got there, you could be like, I did that.
I mean, he could still take credit for it, saying, I got all these quote-unquote slaves to summon this for me.
I mean,
underlings.
Yeah, it may be worth trying to see if we can find a solution that damages the building not enough to instantly kill everything in there, but reduce it to rubble, therefore leaving them without the cover of like somewhere between not doing enough damage and complete annihilation. Because if we destroy their bubble, there's what's to say that we can't, but they won't move or chase after us, Or we can move and chase them. We can, find ways to push and shove them or section them off. It may, a direct attack may not be enough to, destroy everything within. It may cause some damage. It may make the pressure a little tighter to not kill more in the same spot, but it may at least give an opening to attack. If we're following that road.
Let's talk about what resources we have. How do you presume to level the building?
Dorbo says, I have had spell gems made with enough power to take the building out.
Out of curiosity, just as we're sitting here, going over all of these plans, would it be okay if we checked, one, you guys, and, maybe the guards that are in this room listening to make sure that they aren't possible spies?
How do you intend to do that?
The only thing I got is identify.
Which you said we don't know if it works.
We cannot count on, we can't count on a negative, but if it may
if
give,
we can't
if it gets
count on a negative, I don't see how that
but
helps
if it
us
gives,
to be secure.
If it throws us a positive, then we can then count on the negative. It's better than not. I mean, it's something to at least set us. I don't know. We gotta eventually try it until, you know what I'm saying?
It won't work on any of our guards anyway.
Why not?
They run a non-detection spell on themselves at all times.
Do either of you not have magic spells on you, Dorbo?
He says, we do the same, particularly since the assassin makes it harder for enemies to find anyone of import.
So could you drop the non-detection spell for a moment while we check?
We could only not recast it. We couldn't drop it.
When would it run out?
He says, mine has about 5 hours. Dorbo? He says, another 7.
So tomorrow when the Zones of Truth are active.
Does the Zone of Truth, would the non-detection counter a Zone of Truth?
She shrugs and Dorbo shrugs and they look at this guard over here who answers. Him just in Gnomish. Zone of Truth's an enchantment spell. It's not affected by non-detection. And she will translate that.
Maybe if there are nerves among the parties, we save the rest of our planning discussion for tomorrow and see if we can come up with a better solution in the next 12 hours or so.
I don't have any nerves. I was really just we're spilling all of our thoughts and ideas and plans, and there's no telling if anyone in this room is a possible spy.
No, that was definitely said to sort of maintain face on both sides. I'm happy for us to be the ones to bow out of this first.
Well, if we do have priests able to use Zone of Truth tomorrow, we can cycle a good number of guards and officials through them, at least as many as possible, and ask quickly. That still doesn't fix the problem of not knowing how to deal with the slimes. I still don't like the solution of destroying a part of the city and what remaining citizens we have there. But if we can't think of anything better, I'm going to have to reluctantly side with Dorbo.
I mean, the only way to know more is for us to go back in.
And if you go back in, you may not come back out.
Yep.
Well, I suppose it's up to you if you want to take that risk.
I think after one night of sleeping with us, they won't want us back. I don't say that. Sorry.
There is a chance if we enter from another route, we may be able to scout the area more, but I don't think we'll get back in the building.
I think the building is the key.
Yeah. Outside the building, there's like no one. And the Pudding King's not leaving the building.
Yeah, I already tried asking him to come out. He said no bueno.
Yeah.
Anyone who's anyone is in that building. Or everyone who's anyone is in that building.
I think the only slim chance we have of any sort of peaceful resolution is to make sure the Pudding King is not in power. But I don't know that the prince or princess wouldn't want the same goals.
Is that even an option? Are they autonomous individuals?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought not.
Yeah,
And can we talk to them without the Pudding King present?
Well, one of them talked to us
least...
before we entered the building.
That was the prince.
And he did have to announce our entry to the Pudding King when we came in. That may have been a formality, but he didn't seem innately aware of our entrance.
The prince actually talked to us on the doorstep, so we were actually still outside. We were able to talk to the prince.
Yeah.
Is that an avenue you think we might pursue?
He seemed pretty into the Pudding King.
He seemed very much like, oh, you are here to join us, welcome. So I don't know how...
Right.
I don't know if that's in demon summoning, come join us to summon the demon, or come join us, the Great Hall of the Pudding.
He seemed like a company man. You know what I mean? He makes sure every single paperclip gets returned.
I feel like the only way that we're going to come up with a solution outside of bombing that region of the city is if we go back in there.
Well, Zoltan, maybe you'll get your wish after all, and you can join the Pudding King and touch his sword.
We don't have enough information to come up with something otherwise.
Alright. Well, then... perhaps that's what we do while we're waiting for the priests.
We should have asked about the sword, because I forgot all about the sword.
Did you need anything else from us? In the meantime, in preparation, we will be preparing to attack in force, if there's no other option left.
So there's no one in the whole city that can do Zone of Truth at the moment, correct? That we know of.
We just know that those priests only couldn't.
They just didn't have it memorized that day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm only asking because if I could cast my Whisper ability. How far is the dome versus the Diggermatox at the moment? Is it like miles and miles away?
Let's find out. It is... not that. About 1,000 feet.
So that's about 1/5 of a mile.
Cause my Whispers, if I cast it on before we go in there, works up to a mile away.
Oh yeah,
so we could
cover
be,
all of Binghamstone.
We could be in contact with them to let each other know, like, hey, we're fucked, you should attack, or communications is actually working.
But also that would give the Pudding King like he would hear all that.
Correct, but I'm not going to speak to them at all until do or
Right,
die.
It's like a last
yes, please get in here. Or
We know at least that the prince would be able to hear thoughts, but we don't know that the Pudding King can themselves.
I thought all slimes could.
The Pudding King isn't a slime, it's a Sverfneblin.
yeah.
Did we get a name for him, or did we just get Pudding King?
I think we have gotten a name of his past self before he declared himself the Pudding King, but I don't recall what it is.
That is correct, you did.
The prince's name is Prince Livid. And the Princess Ebonmeyer. Yeah, he had a name, because didn't we want to ask if they knew the name before? Guess not. I don't see it written down. I didn't take extra notes, so.
I don't know if we got his name.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter then, because we couldn't ask if they had heard of the Pudding King before then, because I don't remember the name. Dum-dum.
All right, are you heading back to the ooze land then?
Yes. I want to explain to them how my psychic whispers works and wondering if they're okay with doing that with me so we can at least communicate between each other.
Certainly, if you think that would be helpful to you.
Do you guys think it would be helpful?
It might. I also saw in looking for the name that we did get some idea of what the runes were on the floor. It was a prayer to protection for Etmok. I don't know if that sounds familiar to the Diggermatox at all.
Entomok?
Etmok, E-T-M-O-K, I think.
Nope, it was Entmok.
Entomok.
Okay.
Which is...
Just can't take notes, right?
The good Earth
So they're
Prince
doing Entomok.
The one that...
So they have...
Go ahead.
They have taken over a previous religious building.
Oh shit! That's Entomok. I just
Mhm.
put it together. Yep. That's the same Entomok. Got it.
Yep.
Two birds, one stone. Oh look, all of our problems are colliding together again, just the way we wanted them to.
Nahidra, get in here!
Freeze these lives.
So, can one of us actually read those before we go back in?
No, we have to go back in to read them.
Read what?
No.
Kipo already read them. That's how you wrote them down.
Runes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're a prayer for protection to Entmok.
Yeah, because they just said Entmok is like the dude for like earth elementals and stuff like that. So I would imagine slimes are probably earthen related.
No.
No, the building. Those
I think they've just taken over where that used to be.
Those prayers were already there. They took over effectively the court of Entmok. It's probably not that, but it's just like it was already there.
Sorry, it's I'm putting it all together.
Senni says the building they've taken over was previously a courthouse.
I was so close.
And yes, it would have had a blessing to Entmok on it. No doubt that blessing is no longer active.
No doubt.
If it were, then it wouldn't allow them to be attacking the city like this.
How do you reactivate the blessing?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask a priest.
Probably has to do with Entmok's blessing. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Trial or whatever, yeah.
Trial. Yeah. Which would say, which would maybe the peaceful way is to figure out Entmok's blessing first, which then would activate the shit ass in the courthouse, which would then shoo them out. Remember the peaceful way?
As much as I would like to pursue that, we would have to find one of these people who we have no idea where they reside and talk to them.
Or
Senni, Dorbo, do you recognize any of the names on this list?
They will take a look.
Doctor Strange saw all these ways. Just one peaceful.
Let me see here. Yeah, Fossil Teeth was part of the original expedition to reclaim Blingdenstone, but he fucked off into the Underdark. That's the Dorbo. I don't know where he is now. Abzu. The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember from where. I don't know any drow. And I think Steel Forger had gone off to try and find one of the old outposts of Blingdenstone. We haven't heard from him in years. Decade even.
If we could, that seems like an option that I would like to go for. I just have no idea if our timetables fit something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still can use my phone a friend back at the Temple of Secrets and see if we can get the speaking
stones.
Yeah. Not the sending stones, the speaking stones, and see if I can get an answer. It's,
worth a shot.
But we need, before we go and do this, we need to have a concrete plan, because I don't want us to run into a similar situation with the question, and I also don't want to throw the opportunity in for nothing. So,
well, write out your question now. We can see it.
I mean, what are we asking? Where we can find the entrance to the trial? Are we asking where to find one of these people? I would imagine
Well,
Steel Forger would be the closest if it's an outpost.
Well, the questions seem to be yes or no. They said, from time to time, they'll throw you a one-word answer that's not a yes or a no, but it's still, only one word. So, chances are, a location they're not gonna give us a location.
Could we learn about and perform Entomoc's trial before the pudding court consumes Blingdenstone?
Well, I believe
or
that
summons droid legs.
That could be of that could kind of that answer could vary because there's variables there that if this occurs, if there's a required thing to happen that for Jublix to be summoned, then all these other variables affect the speed in which that happens. And then there's all the variables that affect the speed in which you complete. So, there's sure you could get it done in beforehand and you could not get it done. So
that's what we need to know. Is it possible at all, or if it's just a no, then we say forget it?
I think it's just going to come back with unknown, like unsure kind of a thing.
I guess I'd rather. I'm not so much concerned about the timing as I am about actually finding a way to do it, because the answer could come back, sure, you definitely could, but you have to have everything go exactly the way you want it to before it happens, rather than, is this
the lead point we try and make everything go the way we want it to?
I think finding out a time frame of how far they are into the ritual is useful.
But how do you get that in a yes or no?
I don't know. Will the ritual be done in 3 days?
But you only got one question.
I could ask, is the entrance to the trial located in Blingdenstone? And that deeply narrows down the amount of places we have to look.
Was there an entrance to the trial? It was go to a place, retrieve a thing, defeat some people, and I think remake something.
It was go somewhere, retrieve something, build
Create
something, defeat something.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
we also know that some people on this list completed the trial not anywhere around here.
Yeah, so clearly there are variable locations that you can go to. It's more likely a type of place you have to go to than a specific place.
Go to a place with the blessing of Tamak on the floor. Prayer.
I mean, is it common to have Entomoc's blessing in multiple places, like not just at the courthouse?
Jesus. Yes, most of our government buildings will have inscriptions to that effect. This one does.
Okay.
Of course, the one here is still active.
if this was...
If the timing question we think is the most pressing, I can ask it. I just feel like that just gives us not really any more information and just more of an impending sense of doom, because I feel like we're already on a pretty tight timeline, regardless of whether or not we think we can get it done.
Yeah, I don't think the timing question is. I don't know that there's a way to ask that.
So, I mean, I could ask, is the one of the places for Entomoc's trial in a government building here in Blingdenstone? And that's, I mean, either yes or no. If it's a no, it doesn't really narrow it down. But
keep
if
in mind
it's yes, then we
it
have
also does one-word
below.
answers. So if you can think of something that can be answered in one word, that can also be done. It's just Kipo's question was a yes or no question.
Okay.
So, in theory, you could get a location if the location was...
Yeah, it just might be a slightly vague location because you're only going to get a word.
Maybe
Blingdenstone.
Where
yeah,
in Blingdenstone?
It could be something like that.
What building in Blingdenstone? But then what?
I feel like the most pressing is finding one of these people, or otherwise we're not going to know what we need to find, what we need to forge, or what we need to defeat.
These people are nowhere near, though. If you got to find a person, that's not going to fit into our timeline. They're not around.
You don't know.
We don't know what the timeline is.
There's nothing saying that they don't have descendants or they're not close by. Like, yes, some of them, if they're alive, but we know that they're not in town, we don't know. But
all you know is that they're not in Blingdenstone. You don't know where they are.
If one left Blingdenstone about 10 years ago, that's probably our best bet, because that... I mean...
There were two that were close-ish. I think it was Abzu and
no, Abzu she just heard of. She has no clue what she heard of.
It's one of those like, I know that name, but I don't know why.
Fossil Teeth, and
Fossil Teeth was one of the original ones to try and reclaim Blingdenstone.
Yes, and then Steel Forger is going off to find an outpost of Blingdenstone, which they haven't heard of.
Steel Forger was the one that was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But retaking Blingdenstone was definitely a long time ago, much longer than 10 years.
So if you're going to ask about someone, it should be Steel Forger. I think it's up to you what you want to ask about, since you're the one that's risking the smiting.
So, mild question. Why are you picking which one you ask about? Why not just ask where the nearest one of these people is?
Or that.
Just asking.
Where is the nearest person alive?
That's on this list. Read my list, God.
Where is the nearest person alive that has completed the
Entomok trial?
Trial of Entomok.
That could work. We just wouldn't know who we were looking for when we got there.
No.
Well, yeah, you're not going to get all the information.
But if we get Blingdenstone, then we know there's somebody alive in Blingdenstone, or.
But we already know that nobody alive is in Blingdenstone, because the Speaking Stones told the priests.
Yeah, I guess.
Where is the nearest?
We know there is no one in Blingdenstone.
Person that's completed. That's alive. Please make sure you say alive.
Yeah.
The nearest fucking up.
Where is the nearest living person that completed the
Write it down.
Trial? That's what I'm gonna ask.
Wait, is person
Person counts all species, yes.
Okay, cool.
Where is any of these species?
The closest living humanoid, just
Humanoid also counts all of these, yes. Either of those will work.
Where is the closest living person that completed the Entomok trial?
When you say where, is that vague?
No.
I mean, they could just say close.
They could just say a house.
I guess it depends how fucked up your relationship with your god is.
You're only ever going to get a one-word answer, so that's always going to be a potential issue.
Yeah.
It's behind you. No.
Yeah.
Wrote it down.
The only answer you get is surprise.
Yeah, gee, right? Manifest. The Dark Souls music starts playing.
Sorry, anytime we ever have these like specific worded questions, I'm like, please write it down first. I've seen Mitch just be like, "Can I ask a question?" Yes, your question's over.
Oh yeah. No, I've been stress doodling.
Yes, that's always a great one. Can I ask a question? Yes. All right, you're done. Who's next?
Yep.
Next question.
Over. Yeah. Yeah, it went on my stress doodle page because I've been freaked out about trying to figure out what we're doing tonight. So I wrote on the back on my little notebook.
Everything would be so much easier if we just were bloodthirsty killers.
I am a bloodthirsty killer. I would like to kill. I'm still on the kill train, but
I'm not a bloodthirsty killer. I'm just like, whatever.
Die. All right, back to the speaking stones.
All right.
Because I'm not here next week, so we have to do this week.
All right, back to the speaking stones it is.
So we'll deal with your smiting 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, sorry. Don't let me die off screen next week. That'll be a real bummer.
Next week, Baru's just a smoldering pile of ash.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can't wait till I come back in 2 weeks and you're like, oh, guess what? You get another fatal wound. Death by smite.
Yeah, you show up back at the speaking stones. Kipo, you can hear them very slightly ringing now. Yeah, you imagine that once the ringing returns in full, you'd be able to ask another question of them.
Must reset after a certain number of hours.
Do the godless people hear these?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Your
random god. Will you answer my question?
You've called God Hotline. Hello.
Be just your luck if Loviatar was like the hotline operator that day or something, though. Goddess of suffering.
Sending my question out to the universe. See who answers. That's terrible.
Nah.
Yeah. Yep. I'll tell the priest I need to ask a question and go over to the stone.
Yeah. He directs you right on through.
I will very short, succinct, to the point, just go, okay. Tell me, where is the closest living person that completed the Entomok trial?
You should ask your god, right? Actually address them. See?
Do I have to? I was assuming I was saying it out loud to them. Do I have to actually?
Yeah. No,
I mean,
no,
I don't need to. No.
You said it. That's what you said aloud to the stones.
Right.
The stones hum back at you. Dragon bones. Welcome back.
I got 3 words. Haha. Kidding.
You didn't get an answer we were looking for.
That's 4 words.
Unless your god's not done.
Dragon bones is 2 words. Welcome back is 2 words.
I didn't know if Dragon Bones was one or not. Could be a place. But anyway, I will go back to the group. I will tell them Dragon Bones. I will not tell them welcome back. Kipo, do you know of any Dragon Bone areas around here? Or
do I?
Probably not. You don't actually hang out in Blingdenstone all that much.
Yeah, I figured.
Maybe the priest? Does the priest know?
Yeah, there's a cavern about a day's journey from here called Dragon Bones because it's, well, filled with dragon bones and bone dragons.
So that's where we're going, right?
Yep.
Any popular stories about that cavern?
Maybe you didn't hear the part about it being filled with bone dragons.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
You don't want to go
I
there.
got that. I think I do.
All right.
Yeah, we're looking for a new pet.
Oh, okay. Oh, popular stories. That's right. There was one about the people that went to the dragon bones and died because it's filled with bone dragons.
Right. What do they do? What do bone dragons do? Are they like dragons made of bones, but like nothing, no skin, just like
I don't know.
walking
I've
skeletons?
never seen one. But yes,
Then how do you know
that's
they're
how
bad?
they're described.
How do you know they're bad?
Because I have yet to meet a walking conglomeration of bones that's good.
You know, that's fair.
Scary skeletons.
Have you met a lot of walking conglomeration of bones?
As a priest, disposal of undead is one of my primary duties, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we'll stop there for tonight.
Dun, dun, dun. Good luck with the bone dragon next week. I hope you all don't die while I'm in the convention.
Hey, and when Ray gets back next week, you can have her, the third religious person, ask a question if you want.
By the way, Ray, we're going to fight bone dragons.
By the way, Ray, Baru got a weird message from her god, and you missed the session trying to figure out her mysterious backstory. And also, she's not here and said, "Go fight bone dragons." Bye.
For what it's worth, Ray's goddess is similarly bad as Kipo's is for domains. Her stuff is nature, light, and life domains.
Yeah, nope. Yeah. And the more like we got into it, the more it was like, shit, oh god, don't make me do it. And then it was like, we're just going in circles. I'm gonna have to do it. So
Goddess's domains are just like perfect for all of this.
Yeah, yep. That was why I picked it. I thought it'd be good for the Underdark.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and with the addition of the secrets domain, it's just like...
Yeah. Yep. It's very hush-hush. Though it won't be now that I'm back on her radar, so sorry, y'all.
It's okay, we broadcast our dreams. We've done stupid shit.
That's true. At least
it's only fair that everyone gets their turns.
There you go.
Yeah, I need some of the heat taken off of me.
Everybody's bringing the danger.
It's funny that you think there's a shared heat level in the party and that it doesn't just add up.
Oh no, I fully think it's just adding up.
Yep. Well, it's
just saying everyone
right, but
should have, equal opportunity to
I agree that it's
to this.
Yeah,
adding up.
Baru's got her god, you two have your bracelets, Ray has that weird thing outside her window.
The window.
I think Kipo's the only one who currently doesn't have any weird large entity after them. But that can change.
Yeah, but your mom might be a slime.
That's true.
I'm fairly certain she's not.
Yeah, I think
we'll just let you believe that.
But
pretty certain she hates all of us.
She's definitely doesn't want to hang.
Sonny or Dorbo
went off to college and started hanging out with the bad kids, and then came home, and your parents were like, "Make new friends. Go transfer schools and make new friends."
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that Sonny or Dorbo are a slime.
I'm not doubting that either.
I'm not convinced that they're slimes.
I'm not convinced either way.
I think that they have to be.
I don't know. This is getting into. I can't think this.
Well, I get. Once again,
I don't want to think of like huge conspiracy theories.
If they were infiltrated, it could also mean one of their guards is a slime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Kipo said, "Did you say government?"
No, he said
Seni or Dorbo Digger Matak infiltrated by shape-shifting entities.
Doesn't necessarily
it doesn't
mean
have to be a slime
them.
specifically.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
true.
could be some other kind of shapeshifter. Not completely unassociated with this.
Which the were-rats have now
Are shapeshifters.
The were-rats are shapeshifters.
And have now infiltrated. Well, I wouldn't call it infiltration.
Should have said slime.
Well, I don't know. He potentially got more information.
That's true.
Senny's a were-rat.
This whole time.
Oh.
I feel like all of the problems that we've been gifted with, we've never actually solved any of them. We've just kind of like, we're going to throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Oh, okay, let's move on.
So far here in Blingdenstone, you have shuffled a lot of problems.